Yo, get in here, get in here, get in here, get in here. OTF Bonnie did it. Bonnie did it. Hey, if you ordered your Bonnie did it shirts, man, they should be to you soon, man. If you ordered your hoodies, Bonnie did it. Whoever ordered that OTF Bonnie free dirt, man, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate it. Hey, shout out to all my mods, man. Shout out to all my wrenches, man. Hey, we got some. We finna be getting out some new wrenches, man. My channel is to thrive, and that's what YouTube is. And people who engage, if you engage with me, you might have a wrench coming. The people who really follow me and fuck with me, you might have a wrench. Now I know somebody gonna say something about Trock, but y'all don't know him. He a big supporter of the channel, and he a YN. So we gotta say the YN. So he definitely getting the wrench because we gotta say them. This is what I'm talking about saving him, people like him and his friends. You hear me? So smash that like button, y'all. We got Julio Foolio, man. We got Julio Foolio, the trial. We got Young and Ace might be getting Rico. That's what a lot of people keep on inboxing me saying. So they talking about Young and Ace might get Rico after this. I don't know, man. I think they would have been got him when Queso and them got booked. They would have just Rico'd everybody. But you never know. And we talking about famous Richard. He rejected his plea with the feds. He going to trial. So we talking about all that. THF Gino, his killer, which is THF Badass. Damn, I got fucking hiccups. Which is THF Badass. He got 60 years for killing THF Trouble. Smash that like button, y'all. It's free. The like button is free. Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. The thing ain't even on today. Shout out to King of My TV. We got a 3-minute rule, y'all. We don't do no activities to 3 minutes, man. It's a rule been on this channel. Draw the Mob, King of Mod. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. What's up? Oh, we talking about Allstar Jr. Before we get into the Julio Foolio trial, we're gonna talk about Allstar Jr. and the rest of the stories before we talk about Julio Foolio. Cause that's a long time. All right, shout out Matthew Liggins. Shout out G Sun, man. Shout out Dustin Turner. Shout out Shaky Shack. Shout out Messenger. Always support me. Um, Shout out T. Roy Stanford. Shout out Monique Moore. Who else we got? Who else we got? Dustin Turner. We got Trock. We got Chelsea. We got Nardo. Bone Yak. Shout out Bone Yak. Monty McCrary. I ain't saying it right. My fault. D Jack again. Christian. Draw the mob again. All right. Shout out to everybody I missed, man. I'm gonna say y'all names through the video. I gotta get started. Shout out Happy Dabber. Shout out Space Cloud. Swipe. Who Bears drafting? Fuck the Bears. We in here. All right, Chauncey. Shout out to you. Shout out Quaid. Shout out Go Go. All right, so All Star JR, he was arrested. He was arrested by the feds. And they trying to blame it on Vlad. So we gon' all right, okay, that's good. That Vlad responded. So we get to see what Vlad said about it. I guess Vlad's starting to respond to shit now. We're gonna start off with All Star J first before we get into the Julio Foolio. Famous Richard, he going to trial. He said he ain't taking no plea deal. He playing around and shit. for whoever asks about Famous Richard. All right, let's see what Vlad. Smash that like button. It's free. Smash that like button or send a cash app. QR code in there and Mimi Cash App. Y'all already know it.
All right. Welcome to the greatest show on earth, Vlad TV.
Yeah.
This time, we're going to start off a little different. We're going to put you in front of the camera because breaking news, Allstar Jr., he's in major headlines. He's been in the headlines for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. There's been rumors that he was picked up by the feds yesterday, if I'm correct. And the blogs are reporting that he was on his way to California to do an interview with you.
Well, he was on his way to do an interview with Vlad TV, but not in California, in Detroit. So we had, the last couple of days, we had talked to Allstar J. I think you were involved in the process.
I was.
In terms of booking him to do an interview to talk about the whole situation. So we set a date, we set a time. It was going to be in Detroit. I wasn't going to be there. It was going to be remote.
True.
Right. So in that case, I try to do interviews in person, but I don't always get to do it. So in that case, it was going to be a remote interview. So earlier that day, we had a conversation about some of the topics that we're going to cover in the interview. And the conversation wasn't taped. So if the feds want any level of cooperation from me, I'm already not cooperating. Right. I'm going to be pleading the fifth. I always protect my guests. I have a long history of this. If you look at, for example, the Keefe D situation, Las Vegas PD tried to get all my raw footage. I refused. There's a Jimmy Henchman situation where they wanted my footage. I also refused. I would lawyer up and I would fight situations like this. So I'm not cooperating on any level, and I'm not going to talk about what we talked about in our phone conversation. But the whole thing was we were setting up an interview for later that day. It was supposed to be at 7 o'clock Detroit time.
Yes, it's true.
So the studio was booked. My man Mafi set it up. You were involved in the process as well. Everyone was excited to do it. 7 o'clock rolls around. I'm hitting up Mafi. Yo, what's going on? Where's he at? Oh, and he's going to be there at 7:15. And he actually forwarded me a text message, which will show on the screen, from Allstar J, saying he's running a little bit late. It's going to be 7:15. All right, cool. 7:15 comes around. Nothing. 7:30, 7:45. Now we're not even getting an answer from him. 8 o'clock rolls around. I'm like, well, I guess we're going to cancel. We gave a 1 hour grace period. I don't know whether he got cold feet or something happened, but at the end of the day, he didn't show up. So we canceled. And then I think maybe about an hour after that, I get a text from Mafi from Allstar Jr. that said that the feds picked him up, which is horrible. It's a horrible situation. But I could tell you that I had absolutely nothing to do with that situation. If the feds wanted to pick him up, they probably would have waited once he got to the interview location.
Right.
And if they wanted more info out of him, they could have just waited for the interview to be done.
Well, the fact of the matter is they didn't know what the interview location was. That was all proprietary information that existed between yourself, him, Mafi, and I.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea any of this was happening. It's a messed up situation. But I am not working with the feds. I did not cooperate with the feds. I had no involvement in this. We had already booked the studio. I was looking forward to doing the interview. And then this situation happened. And a lot of these blogs are saying, Allstar Jr. arrested on his way to a Vlad TV interview, and kind of implying that somehow I had something to do.
All right, let's stop it right there. All right, first of all, I want to say, if he took an airplane to California, which he is, ain't no motherfucker driving from no Detroit or none of that shit. So if he was in Detroit and he took a plane, TSA is the feds, man. You have to use your ID. So if he was on the feds radar, all the feds had to do was wait at LAX or whatever airport that he was landing to. It's common sense. Vlad ain't have to tell them people shit. Soon when he ran his ID and booked that flight, he was gone. Now, did Vlad book the flight or did he book the flight? But it really wouldn't matter if Vlad booked the flight because he still would have got arrested. Like Vlad, he booked my flight to Cali. So, and we doing an interview. He just happened to, I just say if this guy Allstar Jr, if he was concerned about the feds and the police, he did a challenge, he did the money spread, he did all the motherfucking challenges that you could do to get the feds' attention. So, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you could blame anybody you want to, but the dude, he was bragging about it. I felt like, he shouldn't even be in jail, but that's just my opinion. I feel like the NBA boy and the other dude should be in jail right now for doing that shit.
With it, and
Right.
I could tell you that I had absolutely nothing to do with it.
And some of the blogs are even saying that he was on his way to California.
He was not on his way. No, he was not.
As if he was arrested on his way to the airport to come to see you.
No. He was
true.
already in Detroit, and he was on his way to a Detroit studio that we had already booked.
Right.
And even the studio was hitting us like, "Yo, what's going on?" And we're like, "We don't know. We have no idea."
So let me ask you a question, Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that people are constantly and consistently trying to label you as a cooperative in some way solely because you're interviewing people? Is, in my mind, it's not your fault. Your job as a content creator and as a journalist, right? And I'll use the word journalist because that is essentially what you are and what you have been for over 2 decades. Why do you think people blame you for, or because the people you interview may say something that may be incriminating about something that they were involved with or something that somebody else was involved with? Why do they constantly blame you versus putting the onus of responsibility on the people who you're interviewing?
Well, I think that I was the first person in this space to start asking the hard questions that hip hop media historically has always been scared to ask. So if you look at my interviews from 2008, I think I did an interview with Plies, and he was like, "Yo, man, are you the police?" Like, this was back in 2008.
What's up, y'all? I'm Percy Miller, Master P, and I want to tell y'all, social media, physical products, digital products, it's the way of the future. If you want to grow your business,
Hey, Master P. Hey, I want my motherfucking refund. I'm finna tell you this right now. I want my refund. I brought the speaker supporting my black brother. I brought a speaker. And you said that it was the top of the notch. Man, that motherfucker went out in 5 minutes, man, on a full battery. I want my money back. Somebody at Master P and tell him Trencher News want his money back. And shipping and handling too, motherfucker.
log in right now with us.
Well, I tell you, this is police shit. Hey, Russell, don't you send nobody over here, man. Do some police interrogation shit. I'm telling you.
Because the way I looked at it was, if you're gonna sit down with somebody, why ignore the elephant in the room?
Right.
If this person's whole persona is built on this gangster image, why not talk about that? If all their songs are about this, if all the stuff they're doing on social media is about this and everything else like that, why not ask about it? Now, I'm very careful about the way that I do ask about it. So people like to say I'm the feds and all my interviews end up getting men arrested and so forth. The only time I've ever heard of my interview being used in someone's case was the Keefe D situation, right? That trial hasn't even started yet.
Right.
So that's not even confirmed.
Right.
But in that case, Keefe D wrote a book about his involvement in the Tupac murder, and I did an interview based on his book.
Based on the book. They missed the book part, though.
They missed the book part.
They missed that in the book.
The book was already on Amazon. There's
Right.
links to the Amazon book in that first clip. So apart from that, people like to say that I'm involved in this person's arrest, that person's arrest. You could ask the actual people who I'm being accused of, and they'll say that Vlad had nothing to do with it. Taxstone, Vlad had nothing to do with it. Casanova 2 times, Vlad had nothing to do with it. You could go on and on and on and on. All these people, if they decide to do crimes after my interview is completed, or if they had done them before the interview was done, which we did not discuss on any level, because I'll talk about someone going to prison and doing their time because you've earned the right to talk about that crime based on the amount of life you've given up in that jail cell.
Right.
That's it. There's no double jeopardy in America.
Right. You can't be.
They can't say, well, you talked about it again, so we're going to give you another 10 years.
Right.
No, you did your 10 years. Now you could talk about it. If it's past the statute of limitations, you could talk about it. If you talk about being a gang member when you were 18 and you're 40 now,
right.
Like I remember with Casanova 2 times, they're like, oh, look, Vlad talked about him being a blood and now he gets arrested. Well, yeah, he was a blood back then, but what he got arrested for had nothing to do with him being a blood back then, before he went to prison for some other shit. It had to do with new crimes he did years after our interview was completed. We only did 1 interview, but people like to put pieces together and so forth. And the reality is I was the first person to do this in this space.
Right.
Now it's very common. You have the Traplo Rosses of the world, and you have the No Jumpers, and you have, podcasts that just focus on crimes.
Right.
So now it's common, but I was really the originator, so I think I take the most heat.
Yeah, you take the most heat. And I think it is a situation where people are trying to throw rocks at the throne. They know that in order to get to where they want to be, they have to go through Vlad TV. And that's probably most likely never going to happen.
Well, there's always going to be someone that's going to overtake you in one way or another. Yeah. And there's lots of great podcasts out there.
I like that you're being you're being like relatively polite.
Well, it's not that I'm being polite. Like, I embrace these new generations.
Right.
Like, I've never been the hater in this space that tries to belittle everyone else and tries to stunt on the next generation. Like, ask Charlemagne. I was the first person to put him on a mixtape when he was still local in South Carolina, before Wendy Williams found him, before he had the Breakfast Club. Like, I was seeing the talent in Charlemagne and featuring it on bigger platforms. Traplo Ross, Academics, Adam 22, Sean Cotton, all these guys I've featured on my show. All these guys I have relationships with. All these guys, we talk to each other and compare information and build and help each other out. None of us compete against each other, and these guys are all younger than me. Oh. And that's the way I've always been, because I feel there's enough food for all of us to eat, and we'll do better working together, as opposed to someone feeling like they're so much above everyone else that they can't really help anyone else or work with anyone else. So I've always been like that.
Save time creating content and generate a high-quality clone of your voice with 11 Labs. Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice-generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take.
I believe your footage made the feds, Vlad. Oh, yeah. Hey, Vlad is fighting him. He ain't Adam 22. Y'all thinking of Adam 22. Adam 22 gonna get that shit up. You seen after the feds hit his crib, he zoomed in on Brick Baby. We gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about Adam 22 zooming in on the gun, zooming in and putting it out there. You hear me? Like, for real, Brick Baby, if Brick Baby go back and work for him, he a sucker. He a sucker, man. I know y'all remember that. You talking about Vlad. Look what Adam did to Brick Baby. Right after the feds hit his crib. He zoomed in for him. On the gun, too. That's real shit. All right, hold on, y'all. So that's Allstar J right there. And let's see. Hey, do they got the footage? Where that footage came from? Hold on.
Surveillance video shows Ford inside the restaurant before a group approached him, leading to a confrontation. During the altercation, authorities say several people appeared to grab his necklace and watch, escalating the situation. At some point, a handgun fell to the floor. Investigators say Ford picked it up and began firing as people ran. One man collapsed after being shot. Ford continued firing, including additional shots in the direction of another person who was running away. The complaint alleges Ford then returned to the injured man, fired additional rounds at close range while he was lying on the floor. Court documents alleges he struck the man with the handgun and spit on him. Authorities say a third person, believed to be a bystander, was also shot but suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Hospital officials told investigators one of the injured victims had his finger taken away due to the gunshot wound and suffered severe leg injuries. Another victim, as of April 15th, did not have feelings in his legs. They said Ford fled the scene in a white Cadillac Escalade before officers arrived. The affidavit also states that after the shooting, Ford allegedly posted multiple videos on social media appearing to taunt those involved. Investigators say he later released a music video referencing the shooting, including lyrics about the incident. Officials say Ford has a prior felony conviction in Michigan, what makes it illegal for him to possess a firearm. He was arrested as the charges are pending. Now, this is from the Metro Detroit News.com. This website has other articles that are real. Here you see I'm showing you the so-called case number. These are pictures supposedly released to the Department of Justice. Now, after seeing Ben 10 pretend to be okay, even though we know he can't move his legs, is this some type of propaganda? Is this a move from Allstar Jr. as part of his marketing? This seems like a little bit of a weird charge in the sense of, well, here's the thing. If it was his gun and he dropped it, he was in possession of it. And if you can't shoot people, like in self-defense, you can only defend yourself. Once the threat is done, you can't continue doing stuff, right?
Hey, so basically, he going to jail for, if I'm saying it right, because I thought the police officer, I thought they were saying that, he took the gun. They didn't see him with no gun and no footage, like they took the gun. But it seemed like he going down for the gun and overkill, like Rob did. Rob, if he would have shot Lil Jeff one time, they probably would have gave him a self-defense. You know what I'm talking about? But since they gave him a self-defense, basically, but they charged Rob with the gun, Trap City Rob, Dennis Rodman. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one who ended the YN's career, man, on everything. I don't want nobody to die, but I'm gonna continue to say it. We needed Lil Jeff and Von gone, man. They had the motherfucking kids' brain wrapped. When you got some kids in the suburbs talking about they bloodhound all the way to fucking Danville, Decatur, and all that shit, we bloodhound. You hear me? Like, what that's scary, man. Kids all the way back in NIU. They bloodhound. They walking around with a Lil Jeff chain on. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that shit's scary to me, man.
You can't keep popping them.
I finally realized why all the big companies use Navan to manage their business travel. With Navan, company travel basically...
This seems to be real. He was going to LA. He's in California, I guess. Somebody that's on the ground, I could see that being charged as a crime. Damn, Sander was shot. If he got people in put, man, they're going this rap shit. These rappers doing all this crazy stuff in public. I could see law enforcement being like, "Oh no, we're gonna end this." Damn. I hope I hope this isn't true. It appears it probably is. Man, I hope they don't give him any other charges, and I hope he beats this one. Damn. So Allstar Jr. was on the way to No Jumper to do an interview. Some point, a handgun fell to the floor. Ford picked it up, began firing as people ran. One man collapsed after being shot. Returned to the injured man and fired at close range. That could get you a long time in the penitentiary, possibly. Ooh, another victim as of April 15th. The man who can't do the Ben 10 denied his feelings in his leg. Now, all these
All right, this guy knows some of what he talking about, but he don't know what he talking about. First of all, it wasn't No Jumper. It was Vlad TV. It's all over the internet, guy. You know, I don't know what you smoking, but that's good shit. Then it wasn't that, and yeah. He going down, bro. Like, look, if he wouldn't have been bragging, bro, they probably would have slapped him on his wrist. He was bragging too much, bro. That shit like a war. They talking about Detroit versus everybody. Just imagine how the white people looking at that shit. The police officers who ain't from the hood, who don't know about Lil Durk them and Drill and Chief Keef them. Just imagine how they thinking when you say, oh, it's Detroit versus Texas or Detroit versus Houston. They seeing this shit on the internet too. They like, what the fuck? You know, everybody got to go to jail. We got to stop this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I think Ben 10 them need to be arrested too. They need to be arrested, man. You don't need no witness. You don't need Allstar Jr. to say they try to rob him. We seen it on camera. A picture's worth 1,000 words, man. They try to rob him, bro. On some real shit. Why? Right after you get out that hospital bed, he need to be handcuffed. He need to be handcuffed right now. I ain't never seen nothing like that. When it's a violent crime, motherfuckers got shot, whether you the victim or not. Bro, in Chicago, they handcuffing your ass to the bed, bro. You want the investigation. Ask anybody who know whoever got shot, is they slapping they locking your ass to the bed like you shot a motherfucker. You hear me? You the victim. And then they hit you with that. We got to investigate. We got 72 hours. Like, for real. You can't play victim after you played crazy on camera. Yeah. If he go down, I think they need to go down too, man. Let's switch from this guy. All right, so shocking surveillance footage accused killers tracked before they murdered Julio Foolio. So we finna get into the Julio Foolio shit. Roll y'all weed up. I finna roll up. Get your drinks, whatever. We about to watch the Julio Foolio and I'm gonna react to it. I'm gonna stop, pause, react to it. But I haven't watched it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I haven't watched it. I've been doing interviews and shit.
If you've got an old fence that you've been thinking of replacing, or you're just looking to add a new fence to your property, we're one of the top rated fence and deck companies in the state. And right now, this
So images from daily. I don't want to see that.
Mr. Murphy is the biggest, heaviest one of these defendants, just like the shooter who takes the rearward position in this attack. That's Mr. Murphy. When he was arrested, you will see tattoos. You see many on his neck and chest. He has a 1200 tattoo on the back of his neck.
An opening statement on behalf of your client, Isaiah Chance. Okay, you may proceed.
Good afternoon. As you all know, my name is Justin Petrides, and I, along with Christopher Bolt, Richard Watts, and Brandy Smith, represent Isaiah Chance. The state has charged Isaiah Chance with first-degree premeditated murder. That's as serious as it gets in the state of Florida. That is a weight of your decision and what we do here these next few weeks. And that is precisely why the Constitution demands the highest burden in the legal system, beyond the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, and every step of the way. Isaiah doesn't have to prove anything. I mention that again, not that you don't know that, you know that very well, not only because it's constitutional bedrock, because I want you to view this state not through Isaiah, but through what the state can prove, and more importantly, what they cannot prove. I ask you to hold the state to their very high burden, which is ruling out every reasonable doubt of every fact and element necessary to prove the allegations against Mr. Chance. That is their burden. That's what you swore to hold them to, and that's what I'm going to ask you to do. As you know, they're attempting to prove three things against Isaiah Chance. Him as a principal, or excuse me, two things. Isaiah is a principal, premeditated murder, and conspiracy to commit that murder. And to do that, they need to prove three things. That Isaiah wanted Charles Jones dead. I ask you to look for that conscious intent that he wanted Charles Jones dead. Not speculation, not inferences, the conscious intent. Make the state prove that. I believe they'll be unable to do so once you've seen all the evidence. They also have to prove that he had actual knowledge of the plan, that specific plan, to kill Charles Jones that night. Again, not inferences, not speculation, not assumptions on what his behavior may or may not have meant. I believe at the end of the evidence, they will be unable to do so once you've seen it all. And lastly, that he did something, some act, some concrete step. Mr. Harmon showed you the list of what constitutes that in the principal statute. Help, assist, cause, encourage. However, I believe once you see all the evidence, any act that he's done requires you to speculate as to its meaning. And that you also speculate as to the knowledge he had when he did that act. Watch carefully through this trial. I believe when you see all the evidence, the state will be unable to prove any of those three things. And if they can't prove any of those, you would have to find Mr. Chance not guilty. Let's start with knowledge. The state's theory will be that he was part of a conspiracy, that Isaiah was part of this conspiracy to kill Charles Jones. And he traveled to Tampa knowing the purpose of that trip was to kill Charles Jones. But ask yourself, is there going to be a witness, a piece of evidence, a text message, an admission, something that proves that Isaiah knew about this plan, that he had knowledge of the plan to kill Charles Jones? I submit they will not. They will be unable to rule out, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Isaiah simply was not aware of the specific plan to kill Charles Jones. For instance, Mr. Harmon showed Isaiah Chance moving bags. Look for evidence that Isaiah knew what was in those bags, not the assumption that he must have known or he could have known or he should have known. Look for proof that anyone knew what was in those bags. Wait for a witness to testify that they could say what was in those bags, that Isaiah knew what was in those bags. I submit that will not come during the evidence. Now, in jury selection, Ms. Doherty mentioned a principal hypothetical. I believe it involved Angelina Jolie. But in that scenario, we had a nanny who was the principal. We had her boyfriend who did the physical act of kidnapping the children in this case. But we were privy in that scenario to the conversation between the nanny, the principal, and the person who committed it. So there was no confusion about whether or not she had knowledge of this crime they were going to commit. That is not going to be the case, I submit here. You're not going to hear evidence that Isaiah was aware, like in this case, like in the hypothetical. Do not fill in the holes to the state's case. Hold them to that burden. Make them prove.
Have you been researching dental implants? Here's the part no one likes to hear. You could be wearing those temporaries for up to 10 months.
That Isaiah had knowledge of this plan. Now let's talk about an act in furtherance. Again, it needs more than being present. It needs more than association. It needs more than just traveling to a city. I believe the evidence will not show an act, something that Isaiah did to assist this murder, while having the knowledge that the murder was taking place. This goes back to Mr. Wise's example in jury selection about the progressive commercial, I believe, with Jamie, where he helps people drive away from a bank robbery, not knowing they've committed the bank robbery. You have to have knowledge that the crime was going to occur.
Hey, y'all. Hey, he throwing them under the bus already. I told y'all, bro. AYNs. Y'all better watch this trial, man. It's gonna be 5 or 6 of y'all kill one motherfucker, and y'all gonna go out just like this, man. Hey, his lawyer saying that his client wasn't there. They basically, dude, you gotta prove it. You hear? Like, bro, they ass fried, man. They point the finger. I don't know who lawyer is this, but he pointing the finger like 3-4 times since we've been watching this shit.
And commit an act of furtherance to help that crime. You need it all. We talked about the Airbnb being booked. Mr. Harmon did in 1.3 miles, I think he said, away from the murder scene. However, I believe the evidence will show you that Mr. Jones did not book that hotel until just before they got there, hours before, whereas the Airbnb was booked days before. So this wasn't a situation where they followed someone to where they thought they were going to be. No one knew they were going to be at this Home 2 Suites. We've seen a picture of Isaiah on the phone, not his phone, on what they believe Alicia Andrews' phone, talking to what they believe Sean Gathright. Look for the state to be able to prove what is the contents of that phone call. I submit they will not be able to prove what was said in that phone call, and definitely not be able to prove that phone call had anything to do with the murder. They want you to assume it did. They want you to say it probably did, but that's not beyond a reasonable doubt. I would also submit that that's the only time that he's seen with Alicia's phone. And that will be stacked on the inference that he had knowledge. Doing something, stacked on the inference that he had knowledge. And you can't stack inferences. You also were shown that Isaiah didn't get to the crime scene, allegedly, until we know for a fact till after the shooter's car was already there. They were there first and he was there. We also know, as Mr. Harmon pointed out, the shooter's car was watching Mr. Jones leave Truth 18. So they knew when he left. Mr. Harmon also showed that Isaiah was driving at Teasers. That's the only time he's seen driving that silver Cruise. Just like that's the only time he's seen on the phone, on Alicia's phone. Yet Mr. Harmon continued to say through his opening, here's Isaiah texting from her phone. Here's Isaiah texting from her phone. Here's Isaiah sending this from their phone. There's no proof of that. I asked you to look for proof that Isaiah ever used her phone more than once. We have the one time on camera. They need to prove the other times. You cannot just assume every time her phone is used, Isaiah is the one using it. Without proof. I submit there will be none. Just like you cannot assume that just because that silver Cruise is driving, that Isaiah is the one driving it. I submit you will not be able to, there will be no evidence showing that he's driving it at Truth 18, and no evidence that in that video at the crime scene, you'll have no evidence of who's driving the car. And you cannot assume he's driving that car at that time. They want you to believe he's a lookout, but look for evidence of what he did, not assumption based on the phone use that we don't know he's using. Look for evidence of what he did as a lookout at that crime scene to help in furtherance of the crime. We saw the car drive by. We didn't see it stop. We didn't see any communication between the two. Look for proof of communication between Isaiah, not a phone, didn't belong to him, Isaiah and the alleged shooters. I submit you will not find any. Again, you need to find specific intent that he wanted Charles Jones dead that night in that murder. And I submit you will not have that. The evidence will not show that. You will see no statement. You will hear no admission. You will see nothing that puts you in the mind of Isaiah Chance. Nothing on that stand will be able to put you in that mind. It will be assumption and speculation. They will lean on cell phone data and location evidence, but that is not intent. And they will lean on social media. You saw the spaces. That requires a lot of speculation as to what exactly that meant weeks before in what Mr. Harmon referred to as an argument. I would take umbrage with that. We'll see what you believe. What the evidence will not show you is Isaiah Chance firing a weapon. It will not show you Isaiah Chance directing anyone to fire a weapon. The alleged gun that he's in his possession, that's the last time we could see that gun. And there's no indication that specific gun was used or involved in the murder whatsoever. The state's evidence, I do not believe, will give you the unambiguous definitive proof the law requires before you can find him guilty of either charge. The prosecution is going to tell you a story. It's built on cell phone data, location, gang rivalries, a lot of which happened before Isaiah probably could even drive. For instance, those two videos that weren't, I think the first one was Spinabins and Young and Ace happened 5 years ago. That's what we're talking about, 5 years ago. When you hear all the evidence, I do not believe you'll believe the state has proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. They will show you he traveled to Tampa. They will show you he was present that night. But then they will ask you to make a leap, to assume that presence equals guilt, that association equals conspiracy, and that being there means he planned a murder. And that is not proof, that is speculation, that is assumption, and does not meet their high burden. I'm going to ask you not to fill in the gaps of the state's case. They're going to paint a picture for you. They need to paint the whole picture. We can't ask you to connect the dots as part of the picture. They have a burden. It is a significant burden, and I'm going to ask you to hold them to that burden. I keep bringing up that burden, and I apologize, but it is very important because it is a very high burden for.
Hey y'all, I'm a kind of fast forward it, man, because we already see what he on. He on some motherfucking. He trying to get his client out. He working for his client, and he trying to say his client wasn't part of it or none of that. That's why he brought up Alicia Andrews. See, that's why Alicia Andrews got up out of there, and she played a domestic victim because she knew these niggas wasn't like that, and she knew they was gonna tell on her ass. She got up out of there on their ass. He beat me. Yeah, I'm finna fast forward this shit. Dude ain't talking about nothing. Let's get to the thing.
That's right. Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
This is Davion Murphy. No, you're the ones who are going to decide who these people are. The state gave you its theory, but over these next couple of weeks, you're going to decide, you're going to put the puzzle together. And what Mr. Harmon said, what I'm saying, what Mr. Petraeus said, it's not evidence. You'll be seeing evidence over the next couple of weeks, but you haven't seen anything yet. So let me tell you a little bit more about the case. Sean Gathright was 18 years old when all these events you've heard about took place. He lived in Jacksonville with his mother and his older sister. His mother was a retired Marine, served quite a while in the Marines, and that's going to have some relevance that I'll get to later, and you'll hear about more as the case goes on. But she likes shooting. She was a pretty avid shooter herself, and a lot of it goes.
Hey, y'all, can somebody help me out, man? Like, what the state at, bro? Let me see what the state talking about, bro. I don't want to hear about no lawyer. Is these they lawyers? Like, hold on.
Emphasize, because you heard the word match used.
Provide a social media.
Nah. Hey, I need somebody to engage with me and let me know. Like, is this a parody or something, man? This a joke? Is all the lawyers just going up there and just throwing it? Like, bro, this shit, they should have just copped out, man, if that was their plan to just put it on each other. I wasn't there. I seen one clip, a nigga said he was asleep. While they was going to kill Julio Foolio, nigga said he was asleep. I got to die laughing like, bro, you should have just defended yourself, man, and went out like that, bro. All right, let's see what.
And in 2024, June of 2024, do you remember him passing away?
Yes.
How long had you known him, Mr. Norris, at that point?
About 10 years.
10 years? Do you remember when you first came to know him about how old you were?
I was like 14.
14. Was he same age as you or older than you?
He older than me.
Did you go to the same school that he went to?
No, sir.
When you met him, when you were 14, was he rapping at that time?
Yes.
And Mr. Norris, did you go to high school in Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
So I want to draw your attention, Mr. Norris, back to June of 2024, the time when Mr. Jones passed away.
They did it again. Springfield politicians made bad policy, secretly tucked into the budget. Now, tipped workers pay the price.
Hey, why do I have to pay the price?
I gotta pay the price. Unless Springfield fixes this mistake, your debit or credit card may not work to pay tips or sales tax starting July.
Do you recall traveling here to Tampa with him?
Yes.
And do you recall how you came down here, whose car it was?
His car.
His car. Was it just the two of you, or was there someone else with you?
It was me, him, and Robert.
Okay, Robert Howard?
Yes.
Do you remember who was driving on the way down?
They took turns.
Did you take turns driving?
No, sir.
So just Robert and Charles?
Yes, sir.
Now, at that time, when you would talk to Charles, how did you refer to him? What name did you refer to him by?
I just called him Julio.
You called him Foolio?
Yes.
When you all came down from Jacksonville, do you remember the purpose for coming here to Tampa?
Celebrate his birthday.
Did Mr. Jones invite you on that trip?
Yes.
When you all arrived, do you remember where you stayed?
Yeah, we had a B&B.
Airbnb?
Yes.
Do you remember where that was?
It was like St. Pete.
St. Pete?
Yeah, around that area, I think.
Okay. Would that have been a Friday night?
Yeah, I think, we got here like on a Friday.
And then the following day, did you all end up going to another Airbnb?
Yes.
And was that in a different location?
Yes.
Were you aware that Mr. Jones was posting things on his Instagram account about his birthday party or about people coming to the Airbnb?
I know he was posting, like, promoting it.
You knew that he was promoting?
Yes.
So I want to move to the Saturday night when you're at the second Airbnb. Is Robert Howard there?
Yes.
And Charles is there?
Yes.
Were there some young ladies that came down from Jacksonville that evening or that day?
Yes.
Did you know those women?
His girlfriend came on that day and a cousin, but all the other people, I didn't really know them.
Okay. So Charles Jones' girlfriend, what name did you know her by?
Armani.
Armani? Did you ever hear anyone call her Armani?
Yes.
And was there some type of a celebration or a party that night at the second Airbnb that Saturday night?
Yes.
And you said there was people showing up that you didn't know?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember approximately how long that party lasted?
No, sir. I can't remember exactly how long it was.
At some point, did the party end?
Yeah, because we were finna get ready to leave the club, and the B&B lady basically came like, they were finna kick us out.
All right, you all were getting ready to leave?
Yes.
To go anyways, but then the lady who owns the Airbnb kicked you out?
Yeah, she sent a call, like, sent the police to send out like it was a fight or something.
So the police came?
Yes.
My coworkers thought I'd get fired for eating these gummies. Funny how I became the most productive person in the office, just because I sleep like a baby now. So I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life. I got these legal sleep gummies with, and honestly, I was ready to return them. I did not expect them to be this crazy, but before I was going to ship them back, I figured I'd at least try one.
Did you have to pack up a lot of stuff to take with you when you left?
Yeah, we had to get everybody's stuff out of B&B because they had already left.
When you left the Airbnb that night, did you travel in Charles Jones' vehicle?
Yeah.
And that's the same vehicle you came down here from Jacksonville in?
Yes.
And was that a Dodge Charger?
Yes.
So you leave the Airbnb. Where do you all go?
What a club called? I think it was called Teaser or something like that.
Okay. And that was a club you went to?
Yes.
Here in Tampa?
I think that's what it was called. Yes.
Teasers?
Yes.
When you were driving from the Airbnb to the Teasers, other than you and Charles Jones, who else was in the car during that trip?
This one, Zay was in the car with us.
Who was?
Zay.
Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
Is that someone you know?
Yes.
Do you remember who was driving?
Zay was driving.
Xavier was driving?
Yes.
Do you remember where Charles Jones was sitting?
He was in the passenger.
Front passenger?
Yes.
When you all arrived at Teasers, were there already people there from the Airbnb or people from the party there?
No, like all of us like drove around at the same time, so we all met there.
Okay. When you all got there and met up, did you end up going inside of the club?
Yes.
And did Mr. Jones, did he make some kind of an appearance there at the club?
Hey, Ray Neezy, he do sound just like Julio, man.
No.
Hey, shout out to Ray Neezy. Hey, his ass sound just like Julio. That's why I thought this was like a parody or something. Big Wani. Hey, Big Wani, man. A motherfucker hit me up talking about some report about Big Wani. I told him, man, hey, look, I knew Big Wani since a kid, nigga. I'm gonna protect Big Wani. That's one of the ones that I know since he was a young motherfucker. He originally from over there. You hear me? You can't pay me to talk about certain people, man. I love you, Wani, man. Stay out of trouble, though, bruh. Stay out of trouble, man. I showed you what you can get. All you gotta do is do what I told you. You'll get a bag.
Okay. Did he meet with people there?
Yeah, some other people he knew was there.
Okay. But you were aware that he had advertised that he on his Instagram that he was going to be there?
Yes.
And that's what I meant by an appearance, that he was going to be appearing there. Do you remember approximately how long you were there?
Probably like an hour or two.
Okay. During the time you were there, well, let me ask, you and Charles Jones are inside the club?
Yes.
Was Robert Howard inside the club?
Yes.
Was Armani and her cousin inside the club?
Yes, all of us inside the club.
You all were. Xavier?
Yes.
Did you know Taifa McCrae?
Yes, that's my cousin.
Oh, you don't know, you know him as your cousin?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know the young lady that was accompanying him that evening?
I know of her, but I don't really know her.
Did you know another, well, let me move on. So you said you were there for a while, almost an hour or more than an hour?
Yes.
During the time you were there, Mr. Norris, did any issues or problems with anyone?
No, sir.
Any fights, anything like that?
No, sir.
Anyone threatening any of you?
No, sir.
Okay. And at some point, you all leave?
Yes.
And when you leave, do you again travel in the Dodge Charger or in some other vehicle?
Same car, the Dodge Charger.
And who's driving this time?
Zay was still driving.
And was Charles Jones in the car?
Yeah, he's still in the passenger seat.
So when you leave Teasers, and did the other folks leave? Taifa and Armani and her cousin?
Yeah, we all went to the next club.
Went to the next club. Okay. Did you know why you were going to the next club? Just
That club, it was like boring, so we just went somewhere else.
okay. Still celebrating his birthday?
Yes,
Do you happen to know how old he was turning?
26.
26? When you got to the second club, did you all, after arriving there at some point, go inside?
Yes,
Do you remember if that required you all to go up any stairs or steps?
yes,
Do you remember if Mr. Jones was doing anything with his phone, if he was live streaming or doing anything like that?
yeah, he was recording a video.
He was recording a video. Did you ever see that?
Yes,
You all go into that club. What do you all do in that club?
he just party.
Just hung out?
Yes,
How long do you remember how long you were at that club?
This is actually a really smart upgrade for your laptop setup. It is a laptop stand and an 11-in-1 docking station in one.
we'll probably end up at like about 2 hours.
Till about 12?
I said about 2 hours.
Oh, 2 hours. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I see why the little light skinned girl, I see why she got her shit severed and she got up out of there on their ass on everything, bro. These niggas some clowns, bro. All four of them some clowns, bro. I ain't gonna lie. One of the niggas riding around with shells in a car that matched the guns from different murders, like all type of stupid shit, bro. Using a OG car that's connected to your OG, and they just dumb, bro. These motherfuckers just dumb. This the stupidest shit ever, bro. Like this the worst case right here. This got to top the cake, bro. They drove all the way from Jacksonville to Tampa, bro. That's a nice stretch, bro, because I drove from Orlando to Tampa, and it took like an hour. It took like an hour, took Nene like an hour and 10 minutes or some shit like that. So they had a lot of energy. I think Jacksonville is when you coming in Florida. So that's got to be like 3 hours, 3-some hours or some shit like that.
At some point, do you leave?
Yes,
Do you know where you all went? Do you remember where you went?
yeah, we went to the hotel.
Okay, so at that point, you all were just going to call it a night.
Yeah,
So when you left there, what car did you drive in, or what car were you in?
same Dodge Charger.
Do you remember who was driving?
Zay was driving.
So Xavier Edwards.
Yes,
And was Charles Jones in the car?
still in the passenger seat.
So would that be the front passenger seat?
Yes,
Where were you sitting in the car?
I was in the back seat.
Back seat. Okay. And you said you all went to the hotel.
Yes,
When you arrived at the hotel, do you remember pulling up in front of the entrance to the hotel?
yes,
At some point during this time period, were you getting groggy or sleepy?
yes.
And did you fall asleep at some point?
I fell asleep in the bed.
So did you fall asleep on the way there or right after getting there or when?
Right after getting there.
Do you remember if
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna even lie, man. Like, that's like riding around with King Von with goddamn it, and motherfuckers in the back sleeping, all type of shit, or riding around with somebody who hot. Anybody, they could be from your city. They hot. Motherfuckers want to kill them. I don't give a fuck where we go. We can go to Minnesota. We outside with motherfucking Uzis and techs and everything. You hear me? Like, they different, man. They say they full-fledged in this shit, bro. They ain't in it. They ain't in it. I know these niggas don't know what they signed up for. These niggas can't even read, write, a shit. I know they don't know what they signed up for. And then Julio Foolio homies now sleep in the car and shit, bro. On their phones and shit. You gotta watch them reviews everywhere. Don't take your eyes off the prize, man, until you get into the room. Once them hotel people told him you gotta wait 20, 30 minutes for a room that you already booked, hey, some shit ain't right. We gone. Hey, look, you can ask Billionaire this, just in case a motherfucker thinks swipe a line. One day we sitting on OTF Jam them block. And I told Billionaire them, Duck them was doing a verse for me for one of the BDs from the low end. So Duck and Billionaire jumped on their song. And we seen a car kept on, we gone. You hear me? Like, ain't no sitting around, bro. We gone. This nigga ain't here. We gone. We gonna bend back when he call our phone. We ain't finna sit like no ducks and they just ride up and spray us. Hell no. But the BD, he ain't set us up. He got his song and shit. Him and Duck and them got cool.
Charles Jones went into the hotel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, went in. Then they saying like we couldn't get a room, and we came back in the car, and they were looking for hotels, and I fell asleep.
Okay. Were they looking for hotels on their phones?
Yes.
And was Mr. Jones in the front passenger seat again?
Yes.
Between the time that you got to Teasers and up to this point, did you have any reason to believe anyone was following you?
No, sir.
Or anyone was surveilling or watching you?
No, sir.
Do you remember at some point waking up or being woke up?
After the shooting is when I woke up.
Okay. Do you remember, or did you ever figure out what woke you up? Was it movement or noise?
The car had hit something and they had woke me up.
Okay. When you woke up, still in the back seat?
Yes.
What did you see when you woke up? What did you observe?
First thing I saw was Julio laid up. And then I looked up, saw the holes in the window. I saw Jose covered in blood.
Did you at some point realize that you had been injured?
No, I ain't really realized that till we got in the hotel.
Okay. Did you realize when you woke up that you were no longer sitting in front of the hotel?
Yeah.
After you woke up and you see Mr. Jones and, well, let me ask you, is Mr. Jones, does he appear to you, what shape or condition does he appear to be in?
Like he's gone.
He's gone? Okay. And when you saw Xavier with blood on him and you saw the condition of the window, did you put all that together?
Yes, at first I thought we got in a car accident until I saw that.
You thought you got into a car accident?
Yeah, before I looked up, it saw like the bullet holes in the blood I thought it was that.
When you saw that,
I ain't gonna lie, motherfuckers might as well go and get a job, man. You will live way longer and you will get comfortable. All you gotta do is move from where you from Move, goddamn it, 200-300 miles away, man, outside of your circle where you from. You will never run into a op. I guarantee, I promise you. Only way you gonna run into a op if your dumb ass get online and be talking about showing places where you at. I'm telling you, you could live life right up under a nigga nose, man. They'll never know, bro. Hey, look, you just gotta get the fuck on, man. Yeah, KFC workers. His homies them though. Like, I know you can't stop no ambush, bro, but god damn it, they probably could have seen the car if somebody was woke. Like, what's that car? Could have been on it. You hear me? And then whoever was driving, man, they had free road kill. They was supposed to jump that curve, man. Hey, look, y'all getting shot at anyway. He was supposed to jump the curve and whack the motherfucker, run him dead over. I ain't gonna lie. They was supposed to run him over, man. One of them shooters, he was directly in a line of a run over, road kill on some real shit, bro. Like, but I don't know, man. They was off them drugs and all type of shit. Bro had the whole gun on him the whole time he was asleep. The whole time he was sleeping. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And the kids be looking up to that shit. The kids be thinking like, this shit ain't real life, man. This shit real life. This shit ain't no GTA. Like, you could laugh at a motherfucker dying, bro. Like, you could laugh all day. Get your chuckles out. But you gonna cry, bro. And it might be, you might cry worse than a motherfucker you was laughing at, bro. Because some kills come in one, some come in twos and threes, some come in fours and fives on everything. These little niggas, they breaking records around this motherfucker. You hear me? Hey, look, this just the proof that this shit real, right? Just imagine if all them people would have died with Mellow Bucks. That was 18 people. 18 people was gone. Nigga would have broke Al Capone record. You hear me? The Valentine's Day massacre wouldn't have been shit to the motherfucking Mellow Buck shit. It wouldn't have been nothing, bro. For real, this shit real. This shit is not a game, bro. This is not a game. This shit is real.
The bullet holes and the blood and the condition of your friend. What did you think at that point about your own safety, if anything?
Looking for something that doesn't compromise on quality, completely portable, and is super.
Just trying to stay alive.
Just trying to stay alive?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you and Xavier Edwards leave the vehicle?
Yes.
Was Mr. Edwards saying anything to you?
He was just telling me to get out and come to the hotel.
He was telling you to get out of the car?
Yeah.
At that point, having seen the bullet holes through the windshield, did you have any idea where the people that had done that, where they were?
No, that's why we had ended up getting out of the car.
And you said you went into a hotel?
Yes.
Did you have to walk to the hotel or run there?
We had ran.
Okay. And did you go into the main entrance of the hotel?
Yes.
When you got into the hotel, what did you do?
We were trying to get help.
Did you find any employees when you went into the lobby?
No, sir.
Were you saying anything to try to get help?
We were screaming out for help.
Screaming for help?
Yeah.
Did anyone respond or help?
No, sir.
Once you were in the lobby, where did you go?
Like knocking doors, trying to ask for help. Then we ended up going to like the third floor because we ain't, people still there.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said we had ended up getting on the elevator to go to the third floor because I don't know if they would have followed us there or not, so we just went on third floor.
Okay. Before you get on the elevators, do you walk by any doors or any rooms in the hotel?
Yes,
Do you try to knock or get into those rooms?
yes. We tried to knock on doors, I asked for help.
But nobody responded.
Nobody responded.
So you and Xavier go up an elevator.
Yes, sir.
At that point, what kind of condition is Xavier in?
He bleeding real bad, but he ended up falling against the wall. Like he felt like he finna die. He kept begging me not to let him die.
He was begging you not to let him die.
Yeah.
You said that you realized when you got into the hotel that you had been shot. When did you come to that realization? Was it in the lobby or once you were on the elevator?
When we got to the third floor, when he fell against the wall, he told me to check his head and make sure he didn't get hit in his head because he was bleeding a lot from his head. And when I looked down, I saw a hole in my arm.
Okay. But, okay, we back up. So Mr. Edwards is asking you to check his head, you said?
Yes.
Because he's bleeding from his head.
Yes.
And you ended up seeing that you had been shot.
Yes.
Where were you shot?
My right arm.
Your right arm? What part of your right arm?
Not the upper.
The upper part?
Yes.
Did you and Mr. Edwards end up on the floor at some point? Or did you sit down or lay down?
He, when he fell against the wall, he was like on the floor, but I ain't really get on the floor till the police came.
Okay. What caused you to get on the floor?
The police made us get on the floor.
They made you get on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to tender States Exhibit 91 and Exhibit 25 A through D. That's 25 Alpha through Delta, and States Exhibit 91, tendered for admission. 91 is in, counsel? Okay, thank you.
So to 25A through D, any objection? Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sonardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petridis? Okay, admitted.
Publishing States 91. Mr. Norris, I just want you to take a look at this. Does that photograph depict how the position you and Mr. Edwards were in when the police arrived?
Yes.
Okay, now on Mr. Edwards, is that blood on his face? I know that's not very good. Let me try to do something here. See if that helps. Nope. Can you see blood on his face?
Yes.
Okay. And your shirt was an all white shirt?
Yes.
But the red now on the shoulder, is that blood?
Yes.
Did the police contact Tampa Fire Rescue or some EMT or paramedic that came to assist you?
Yes.
And were you and Mr. Edwards both taken out of the hotel on gurneys?
Yes.
Were you taken to a local hospital here in Tampa?
Yes.
Do you remember law enforcement, police officers coming there to talk to you?
Yes.
It'll publish States 25A. Is that you, Mr. Norris?
Yes, sir.
Okay. $25B. Do you recall, did they give you pain medication?
Yes, sir.
This records conversations better than taking notes ever could. This is Pocket, an AI note taker that records conversations so you don't have to. I use it for meetings, phone calls, or even doctor's visits. And it captures everything clearly up.
All right, so long story short on that shit. Julio Foolio friend, they basically bounced up out the car on him. They seen that he was dead and they couldn't help him. So shit, they ran for safety and the police had flooded them. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. What am I doing?
First, before you do, Detective, is this the beginning of that footage that was collected?
It appears so, yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Detectives, that appear to be the same car that had passed earlier.
Yes, sir.
And then we have a second car.
That's correct.
The first car, the black car, did that end up being a Chevy Impala?
It did, yes, sir.
That became a suspect vehicle in this case?
Yes, sir.
The second car, is that a silver Chevy Cruze?
It is, yes, sir.
And did that become a suspect car in this case?
It did, yes, sir.
And it appears the Cruze just did a 3-point turn and turned back around to head to the south?
That's correct, yes, sir.
So would it be fair to say this camera is facing in that same oblique direction as the car we were looking at, so to the northeast?
Yes, sir.
Towards the western side of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
Is that the Dodge Charger?
It is.
And again, the two shooters?
Yes, sir.
It's savory, it's cheesy, it's bold. The Colby Jack Pub Burger is back at Culver's.
If you need a new fence for your home, we are one of the top-rated fencing companies in the entire state. And this...
Now, is this a different camera?
Yes, sir. This is the rear camera or rear-facing camera.
Is that on the northwestern side of the vehicle?
Yes.
Is this a third shooter being reflected?
It is.
In this video, can we see one of the charging stations?
Yes, we can. Yes, sir.
And does that one appear to be hooked up to the car?
It does. Yes, sir.
Same individual?
Yes, sir.
Is this the original camera position we were looking at?
It is, yes, sir.
And does it show the flashing lights of the alarm system?
Yes, sir. Yes, we did, sir.
And were you able to find an recording from around the time of the shooting incident, several minutes before and several minutes after?
Yes, sir.
And did that system contain multiple cameras around the perimeter of the hotel?
It did, yes, sir.
Did you collect video from multiple cameras, both on the eastern side, the western side, the northern side of the home to suites?
Yes, sir.
So have you seen this exhibit in a composite showing multiple camera views around?
Yes, sir.
Tracking the vehicles as they enter the parking lot?
That's correct, yes, sir.
All right, Your Honor, we're going to publish States 22A.
Okay.
So if you can assist us with some narration here, is this the Impala entering the parking lot?
It is, yes, sir.
And is it heading now northbound on the eastern side?
It is, yes, sir.
Continuing northbound?
Yes, sir.
I thought y'all said that Julio Foolio was a millionaire. Who said that shit? Who had told me that? Hey, whoever said that, block them. Man, he ain't no goddamn millionaire going to some shit like that. A millionaire would have had an Airbnb or some shit, man. Like, a millionaire ain't waiting outside, goddamn it, for no hotel room. A millionaire gonna pull up and they gonna meet him right there and get his car and pull off, and you gonna go upstairs. I ain't never waited in a hotel, and I ain't no millionaire. But I get millionaire service though. Thanks to a lot of my people, my kinfolks, y'all, my subscribers, my family. But he can't be no millionaire and doing no shit like this.
Is that vehicle now passing into the northern end of the parking lot?
It is, yes, sir.
And now is that vehicle on the western side of the home to suites?
Yes, sir.
Facing south?
Yes, sir.
And it would have just passed the Tesla?
It would have, yes, sir.
Does it appear to now be turning and heading back to the north?
Yes, sir.
And does it do that just to the north of the edge of the southern end of the hotel?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Hey, look, I'm from the streets, right? All right, we got kicked out of 2 Airbnbs. We finna do 3, or we finna drive 8 towns over. We finna drive till a motherfucker can't drive no more. Up out of this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we finna get gone. Man, hey, look, we ain't waiting outside for no hotel room, man. I ain't never waited. If they told us it's gonna be an hour or 45 minutes, we up out that motherfucker. We not waiting. I don't know nobody who gonna wait for a hotel room that they said that they not already called for. The fuck is you changing the sheets to a room that we already booked? That's what it sounded like to me when it first came out. I could be wrong, but they said that they already had a room. So why is they waiting and they already had a room already? That's what I want to know, man. That front desk stalled them.
now, this camera, is this on the southern end of the hotel facing south, and then another camera facing southwest?
Yes, sir.
And do we see the Chevy Cruze again?
Yes, we did.
And is it now on the western side of the hotel?
It is.
Near the Tesla?
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
No, he was waiting outside that hotel. Trust me and believe. I remember. I got good memory, man. He was waiting outside that hotel, bro. Somebody told him they got to change the sheets or something to the room. We got to clean the room. I don't know, man, but I remember when the story first broke and it was motherfuckers who was there. Remember, people was talking. Remember, it was a girl in a parking lot. It was a few people that was around, but nobody, none of the employees. Wait, did the employees say something? Yeah, a girl who was an employee there. She did say something. She did. She said she tried to help him. She the one who said that Julio friends ran in the hotel. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this, man. I seen somebody in the comments. You made a comment saying that, he left his homie. Hey, look, bro. If we just got ambushed and my homie ain't gonna make it, what's the use of me staying here? I can use the phone over there. You hear me in the bush? Like what you want me to die with you? See, that's why I say fuck the streets, man. Niggas want you to die. You gotta die with a nigga. Y'all, what if the niggas was going back to reload? Or what if the dudes did what the guy did on 79th to old girl? What if they did to what they did to old girl and her baby daddy with the baby in the car? Hey, you would have thought them niggas was gonna pull off. They pull up to the car. Boom, 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 boom. I thought it was over with once they shot that long away from them. The car crashed, shorty them shooting, and then they run back to the car. They pulled up on the side of that motherfucker. I swear to God, and dumped in there. Doom, 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 and then speeded off. You would have thought it was a video game. I swear to God, bro. But the moral of that story is, hey, look, go ahead and get low, bro. I'm shot up. The fuck, what can you do for me? These niggas don't know no CPR, none of that shit. They ain't even go to school. They dropped out.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
And that's, again, the Tesla being worked in with the hotel cameras.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in this composite. The hotel recording system, the cameras, especially the ones showing the portico from both ends, was the timestamp on that determined to be a couple of minutes slow?
Yes, sir. It was 1 minute and 45 seconds slow, I believe.
1 minute and 45 seconds. So to get real time, we would have to add 1 minute and 45 seconds to the time being reflected.
That's correct.
Date was correct?
It was, yes, sir.
At the very top of that video, could you see the Impala parking?
It is, sir, yeah. Backing into a space.
All right, and now the cruise is leaving.
Yes, sir.
Which direction does the cruise turn onto 40th McKinley?
Southbound, sir.
That would take it in the direction of the Moffitt Cancer Center down south of there?
Yes.
And this is, again, the Tesla we saw earlier, video
Yes, sir.
from the Tesla. Do we see here the collision between the fleeing Altima
Yes, sir.
and Hyundai? Does it appear that the shooter who was near the tree bumped into the bottom of the tree with his head?
Yes, sir.
Does it appear one of the shooters ran through the patio area?
Yes, sir.
And then came out running past the Tesla?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From the sequence of events, when the third shooter who went behind the Tesla charging stations, when he comes back up and is firing his weapon in rapid fire down the western side of the hotel, does that appear to set off the alarm system on the car?
Just rephrase your question.
Sure. The alarm system that goes off in the car, does that appear to you to be at a time near the shooter shooting up the west side of the hotel?
It does, yes, sir.
Do you believe there was some association between the two?
I do, sir, yes.
What do you believe happened there?
Just the overpressure and concussion of the shots being fired from a rifle in close proximity to the vehicle would have created enough vibration to trigger an alarm system, similar to like a firework being ignited next to a car that's quick of an alarm.
This cleaner is insane. It removes baked on.
Swipe, which case you think worse? Think worse than the old block case or this one? Nah. Lil Durk now, man. That's gotta be the worst shit ever, bro. Like to have to Lil Durk for even be up in that shit with them. Like, bro, you got the money and you know niggas killing. The average nigga who's still out here who had money and had killers with them, they always never took pictures with their killers. You would never know who their killers was. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how you can get linked. You know, they gave it up. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this about Lil Durk, man. You know, hey, even though you know what I'm talking about, like, even if you say, "Oh man, I ain't know they did that shit. I ain't know they did that shit." You know, to hang with the niggas after that, to be in videos with niggas and showing money with niggas after that, and these the shooters and the suspects, like, bro, come on, man. Hey, look, you could fool anybody, bro, and say, "Oh man, how you know they knew?" Hey, look, bro, if my homies on the block, it did some shit, bro, I'ma know that they did it. Whether you want to realize that I know or not, I'ma know. So he shouldn't even been hanging with them niggas, man, after that. Like AJ. AJ was never supposed to be at $1 million worth of game. What the fuck is he doing now? Like, for real, bro, y'all crazy. Y'all brought the nigga who killed him, and then the nigga on text messages saying, "We and Dirk and them gonna give us our money." Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, for real, nigga. Hey, look, y'all hot. Y'all got to go and sit down somewhere. You can't come to $1 million worth of game. Give them some money and keep them away from us. You know what I'm talking about, like that. And then the whole time, Dirk not even knowing that AJ left his phone in the car. Not only did he do that, he left the car that they killed the man in and the gun in the same vicinity, like in the same block's radius, man. Like, it's crazy, bro. But I think Lil Durk's is worse. Lil Durk and them shit is way worse, bro. And then shit, three out of the motherfucking three people already then gave up already. Number two, number two, I don't know what flock number he is, but him and Vonnie, they already gave up. The nigga, hey, look, this what's crazy about that. I'm gonna get back to it, y'all, but I gotta talk about it now. Cause this what's crazy about Lil Durk case. OTF Vonnie, he gonna nail all them by himself. He gonna nail everybody. You know why? OTF Vonnie gonna end up doing it. He gonna end up ending all careers, and they might have to give Vonnie a deal because he don't sound like he AJ taking no 35, 40 years. It sounds like he adding up and I can get this off and this off. That's like 5 and 7 years, you know. But Vonnie, he was on a plane with Lil Durk. Lil Durk gone, right? That's one. That's one down. I ain't trying to argue with nobody. Just listen. Lil Durk was on a plane with him. If that man get up there and say Lil Durk knew that that's why we flew on the airplane to go and set it up to kill Rondo. Dirk knew I had his credit card. He gave it to me. It's his words against Lil Durk's. Ain't nothing Drew or Brian Steele could say. That's one down, and I'm finna go with the rest of them. I'm finna kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Well, 4. I'm finna kill 4 birds with 1 stone. Hey, OTF DD. Who was in the car with you, Bonnie? Oh, DD was riding with me. Oh, he was there. That's murder. That's life. You're dead. You're done. He's saying you was there. You was in the car with him. Okay. Who did you get the guns to? I gave the guns to Flocka. I gave the guns to Jam, and I gave the other gun to Brown Eyes. They done. They done. Do you understand that? They done. He wrapping all them up at one time, bro. They got more witnesses, but he wrapping everybody up. They left. Hey, look, they let the slickest nigga out slick them. Hey, look, this is what I tell Chicago niggas. When you think a nigga a goofy, hey, Bonnie just showed that who the goofy is on everything. They probably was calling Bonnie goofies. They probably was calling him all type of shit behind his back. Them niggas be talking about each other behind their back. It happens in the trenches. So when you walk off, a nigga be like, I don't know what that bitch ass nigga coming around for. Why you ain't say that in his face then? I used to hate when niggas vent to me about nothing, nigga who was just right here. Man, that nigga know I pop him. What happened? What the energy was, nigga? Like you telling me this shit, I don't want to be involved with that shit. Cause then to get around, hey, ask Swipe. Now don't ask me shit, nigga. Don't ask me nothing. That's what niggas in the trenches get to doing. Ask Swipe. I told Swipe, you ain't tell me nothing. No, niggas will get you killed, bro. Fuck the streets, though. I ain't saying fuck the people in the streets because that's where I came from. But I'm saying fuck the streets and its rules and everything, bro. Because ain't nobody got rich yet off the streets. If you can name me 20 motherfuckers that you know that's millionaires, I say, hey, reinstate the streets. That you know that's millionaires. Not no motherfucker who your mama and them know, your auntie, who you know. How many friends you know? You don't know none. Niggas might be having married money and all that shit, could get rooms, but most of the niggas who got that shit scamming. They ain't got no money, they scamming. They bank accounts and shit.
Oven grease, black mold, and years of soap scum from any surface without scrubbing, without bleach, and without anything you'd be afraid.
Oh, I did. That's fine. I'll tender the witness, Sharon.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez,
No objection. Oh, excuse me. No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sonardi,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Wise,
Thank you, Your Honor.
may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Detective.
Morning.
I want to just go back over a few of the things we heard about this morning. A lot of evidence was collected at the crime scene.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Among those things, numerous 9mm casings, correct?
Yes, sir.
I think we heard 31.
Yes, sir.
And 29 of those, I believe you said, were turned over to ATF for further processing, correct?
30 of them.
30 of them.
Yes, sir.
And when these casings and any of these items are collected, it's typically done by crime scene technicians.
Yes,
correct?
sir.
And you oversee that. Right?
That's correct.
But you want to ensure that all of these items are kept in the natural state they're in when they're found so that they can be preserved for testing later.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things ATF was able to do, and one of the reasons it was turned over to them, these casings, is they have a process to actually test these casings for potential DNA.
That's correct.
And then they also can do other, forensic testing to try to potentially match the casings to each other and to a gun.
Yes, sir.
Right. And that was the reason that one of them also was kept for TPD, not for the DNA testing, but for brass track snibin comparison, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's the process, or one of the processes by which casings can be compared to one another.
Yes, sir.
You also collected, I think we heard a lot about this, but several projectiles, correct?
Yes, sir.
And not just whole projectiles. For instance, I'll show you what is in evidence is 9C.
Stock up this Earth Day with Paleo Valley's buy one, get one free offer on bone broth protein. If you're someone who cares about healthy eating and increasing the protein in your diet, listen up because we've got the ultimate protein hack. Paleo Valley's 100% grass.
You'll see the next set of videos coming from the following day. After these conspirators have gone back there and got some rest, and now they're preparing to leave to go back to Jacksonville, mission accomplished. And this is when you will see them getting sloppy. You will see Mr. Chance appear on this video. You will see Mr. Davion Murphy appear on the video. And you'll see Mr. Gathright appearing on the video. This is when they first arrive on Saturday. This is the next day. The neighbor next to them is apparently moving in the unit next to them. That has nothing to do with them. Mr. Chance, and you can see over his shoulder right there, that is an Uber driver that has shown up to take Mr. Chance and Miss Andrews and Rashad Murphy back to Jacksonville. They travel back in an Uber. You'll hear testimony from the Uber driver that he picked up 3 people and drove them to Jacksonville, dropping them back at Sean Gathwright's residence. There goes Davion Murphy coming from the other side, from the back side. There's Mr. Davion Murphy. There's Mr. Gathright walking out with bags. Mr. Chance. Just before leaving. And Mr. Gathright. Getting the code from Mr. Chance to get back in. Now, you'll see Mr. Gathright go to the side. He'll leave in the Impala by himself. Davion Murphy drives the Chevy Cruze back to Jacksonville. So all of them go back to Jacksonville except Sean Gathright. Mr. Gathright, again, picked up on a license plate reader. This time, well, this is the other one we looked at earlier where he's coming. But you can see now he's being picked up on the 23rd at 4:13 hours, eastbound I-4. He is going out I-4 to the east. And then you see below that, at 4:25 hours, southbound Florida 595 and C. Fred Jones Parkway in Polk County. He is traveling to his grandmother's house in Auburndale at Opal Avenue, Auburndale. Here is Mr. Gathright. He has parked the Chevy Impala and he's walking inside. You will also see him come out of the garage through another camera. He will start wiping down. This has been accelerated. He's wiping the car down. And he ends up switching cars with his grandmother, leaving the Impala there in Auburndale and taking a Toyota 4Runner. He drives the 4Runner to Orlando and then back to Jacksonville. But first he wipes down the Impala. There's the 4Runner. The Impala is now inside the garage. Says goodbye to his grandmother. Everything's accelerated here. We're trying to save some time. He travels to Orlando And again, you see some cell phone mapping occurring down there in the low left corner. I'm going to talk to you again about that in a few minutes. I'm going to go through that with you. But you can see Lake Eola, which is in downtown Orlando, and that first white box in the middle of the screen. Just below that, you see Church Street. He's being picked up. His phone he is at Parlay nightclub in Orlando, and he takes this picture of Don Julio and posts it. You'll also see some other images from that evening. He is there with other people and appears to be celebrating. This would be the night of the actual murder going, and then it goes into the early morning hours of the 24th. You can see in that photograph, again, just going back to show Mr. Chance and his girlfriend going out with their bags to the Infinity, which is an Uber driver. This is the Uber. There's the receipt from Uber in the middle. It's $187, a 208-mile ride from Gazebo Pond back to Chipperfield Lane in Jacksonville to Mr. Gathrights' address. Gives the route. Uber driver will tell you he picked up 3 people and dropped them off at the address, which is Mr. Gathrights' house. This is them arriving, again, back at the place that it all started, at Mr. Gathrights' house. Now, that's Miss Andrews by Mr. Chance's BMW. And you see Rashad Murphy in the light-colored jeans, holding the bag in his left hand with a beret or some kind of a cap on, opening the back door, putting a bag in it. You can see the Uber driver moving around on the left side of the vehicle, and on the right-hand side is Mr. Chance. Again, even the ghost, Mr. Murphy, got sloppy here. It was picked up on this video. Mr. Murphy wearing jeans that are consistent with him, what he was wearing 2 days later, when the silver Chevy Cruze was stopped in Gwinnett County, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, where Mr. Rashad Murphy had fled. Mr. Gathright. Mr. Gathright ends up on that same date, June 26, he's back in Jacksonville. He gets pulled over for a traffic infraction. Officers speak with him. They end up getting him out of his car. They end up searching the 4Runner, and they find, among other items, these items. Now, the Max Tech ammunition, there are 2 boxes full of 9mm Max Tech, which is a brand of 9mm ammunition suitable for being fired in a 9mm Glock. Max Tech is the same exact type of ammunition that was fired in this murder. There were 31 shell casings found in the crime scene, 9mm shell casings. They were all Max Tech brand shell casings. So that ammunition is found in his car. Incidentally, I mentioned earlier to you that these conspirators modified their weapons. And it wasn't just the Glock handgun that was modified to be fully automatic. When officers first arrived at the crime scene, at the murder scene, and began their investigation, they responded to the north end where the Dodge Charger had come to rest with Mr. Jones' body in it. Mr. Jones was laying across the center console during this attack. He had turned, a bullet grazed through his right arm. It slammed into his chest. It ripped through his heart and ripped through his aorta, which is the largest artery in the human body. As he continued to turn and try to go into the back seat over the center console, 2 other rounds hit him in the lower back. Those would go through his liver. By the time they reached the northern parking lot, Mr. Norris will tell you that officers arrive there after hearing all the 911 calls. They go to where the charger is up by the Holiday Inn. And like I told you earlier, the officers follow the massive blood trail left by Mr. Edwards and left by Mr. Norris as they fled into the Holiday Inn. Mr. Norris will tell you they ran because they didn't know where these shooters were. They thought they could still be around. So they ran directly into the nearest building, which was the Holiday Inn. They even got on the elevator, leaving this blood trail. You'll even see where they were grabbing a hold of doors, trying to knock on doors and open doors to get help. You'll see their blood on the door handles. They go up and just get off at the third floor, leaving a blood trail. Officers arrive. They really don't know what they're dealing with at that point. They have all these 911 calls. They find this bullet-riddled Dodge Charger. They see the blood trail. They don't know if that's victims or shooters. Officers go in there. They think they're going to be confronting shooters, or at least they have to act that way. So they go into the hotel. They follow the blood trail. They go up to the third floor where they find Xavier Edwards and Mr. Norris laying on the ground with their wounds, and they start rendering aid. Other officers arrive and begin their investigation. They start getting reports that there is a lot of damage to the south end of the home to suites in that portico. So a uniformed officer goes down there and he's looking at the damage and he's seeing all these 9mm shell casings laying there. But what he's not seeing are rifle shell casings. And you saw in those videos, and you will see in this evidence, there was a lot of rifle fire, 2 rifles firing at a high cyclical rate. There's not one rifle shell casing in that scene. And that's because these conspirators modified their weapons. They modified those AR-15 rifles by putting what are called brass catchers on the rifles. That is, it's a mesh type device that has a little metal wire frame, and it fits onto above the ejection port of the rifle, and it catches the shell casings as they're being ejected so that there's no evidence left. And that's why there were no rifle casings in that scene. I want to talk real quick before I move forward into Mr. Gathrights stop there in Jacksonville about the attack that you've all seen now on video and have described to you. This evidence in this case will clearly show you that this was a collective orchestration of a collective intent, an intent based on malice and hatred. These shooters struck with suddenness and speed and overwhelming firepower. They brought not 2, but 3 shooters, 2 high-powered rifles, and a fully automatic handgun into a concentrated area, easily and rapidly establishing not fire superiority, but fire supremacy over the victim and his friends. Firing with absolute, you saw in that video, the evidence will show impunity, absolute disregard for anyone that may have been in the vicinity that they were firing in. The majority of the fire funneled directly into that Dodge Charger. But make no mistake about it, every single round that was fired that night, every one of them was dripping with the combined hatred and malice of all four of these defendants. All four of them. You saw how they took advantage of this ambush, and you saw their determination. How when Mr. Edwards attempted to flee, they followed him with their rifles, shooting at that car as it was fleeing up the northbound. They were not going to stop until they were sure he was dead. Firing again without regard for human life. This ambush spot was really a perfect ambush spot. Mr. Jones was sitting, as I talked about earlier, in his car. That caged him in a way in and of itself. To his left was the employee's car. Behind him was the Hyundai, his girlfriend's car. He had nowhere to go because to the right of him were the walls of the hotel. A hotel. And on the other side of the walls of that hotel was concentrated, dense humanity. The hotel was packed. It was full of human beings, of people. Mr. Jones and his friends were turned away. Their room had been given away. The hotel was full of people, parents with their children there to attend orientation at USF, parents with their children and other people here in Tampa, sightseeing. That hotel's located right up the road from Busch Gardens and the Yuengling Brewery. They were here. All of those people in that car, in that hotel, none of that affected these shooters. They shot with impunity and with disregard for anyone in the area. And you'll hear those rifle rounds that were being shot by Mr. Davion Murphy and by Mr. Gathright as they pursued the Charger up the northwest side of the hotel. There are impacts up and down that western side of that hotel, several of which went through windows, several of which coursed through hotel rooms above sleeping guests, sleeping in their beds. You will hear from one guest who will tell you she was there with her husband and her daughter's boyfriend. Her daughter's boyfriend, they were awake and grabbed her, bringing her to the ground to try to protect her. These conspirators had no cause for concern. There was mass confusion caused by the surprise and this firepower. You saw the fleeing cars, the Hyundai and the Altima, crashing into each other and going in different directions. They didn't know what had hit them. Camilla Bentley gets shot in the arm. She flees southbound on McKinley. She goes to Advent. Well, she drives a distance away, and then she goes back and picks up Tafa and Aaliyah Albrecht and her friends. And then they go to Advent Health where she's treated. Amani Turner, the victim's girlfriend, they're not from Tampa. They don't know where they are. She just gets out of there and goes south on McKinley. Somehow she ends up going eastbound on Fowler, away from the hotel, and comes upon a USF Police Department traffic stop. They get out of the car, her and Mr. Howard, they make contact with the police who can barely understand them because they're so frantic. They get back in their car and they take off. The police try to follow them, but they are going so fast that it's hard for them to keep up. Miss Turner comes into, again, coming back to the west, the intersection of McKinley and Fowler. Instead of turning left and going south and going in the entrance that the conspirators took and Mr. Jones and them had taken initially, she just goes straight into the landscape. She goes over the curb, over the grass, over the bushes, into the parking lot, and ends up by the Dodge Charger in the north end of the parking lot. A TPD officer responding sees her doing that and follows her, not knowing what her involvement is. Mass confusion, but not confusion to these 4 conspirators, because they simply slip away into the darkness of this confusion. They slip away and go back to their Airbnb, where they hole up until they go back to Jacksonville. During this attack, I talked about there being fire supremacy, but I want you all to be assured in this evidence, there was not one round, not a one that went in.
Give me 21 days, you'll be unrecognizable by.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Come this way.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. They cook, bro. They cook. We seen this old girl. She got up out of there though, cause they blaming it on each other now. Everybody saying they wasn't there. They probably was there, but we ain't. Like, it's crazy, man. Some shit ain't even worth it, man. I ain't gonna lie. This one of the cases. Yeah, they ass cooked. You say they young and Ace. I was trying to find that. Go on, find young and Ace for you. Right. I know who got it.
All right, we back to the Julio Foolio trial. He's being
On the opposite side, and you will.
he dropped after the Foolio shooting as well. You don't believe me? All right, somebody come look at this.
I'm going to walk you through a couple of videos that you will see in the state's evidence. This video is a combination 1200 ATK video. The major performer is an individual named Kenyatta Bullard, also known as Youngin Ace or Ace. Spinabins is one of the performers who is a well-known drill rap gang member in Jacksonville, and Wappa with the Choppa is another. You can see in this photograph in the background.
So Wappa with the Choppa. The way they say these names is crazy. But this epic viral, super millions and millions of views on social media and YouTube. Who I Smoke. Yep, it's there.
Young and Ace in the yellow. Kenyatta Bullard, AKA Young and Ace. You can see his ATK chain around his neck. In this video, you will see these performers at times during the video pointing up in the air, and you will see the names of people appearing on the screen. Those are casualties from 6 Block. Those are people who were murdered on the opposite side. And you will hear them talking about them in this drill rap.
When you're the swim, soccer, dance mom, Meyer Pickup has you covered. One stop without the shop.
So we see here the title to the drill rap song, Spinavins, Wappa with the Choppa, Young and Ace, and Fast Money Goon are all participants in this video. And this is them pointing Tiki being an opposing gang member who was murdered.
The pointing up. Oh, that's the symbolism. Nobody in court understand what we're doing here in this video. We're just pointing up at the cloud, saying it's a sunny day out. Yeah, okay. Even motherfuckers that don't follow our culture, what do they say when the time comes? You just heard it. You're pointing up at the deceased. Insane, B. Insane. At least they blocking the audio for us. We appreciate that. Look at them playing the music, video, ATK, A-Team Records. They pointed out the chain around his neck. Whether it's your gang, your flag, your beads, it's always used, and they will never. They ride around the golf carts, B. I need to get back to the lawyer's commentary or the prosecutor's commentary.
With the Choppa, Spinavins, Noah Williams came out with this song concerning this murder, this song being released within a couple of days of the murder of Charles Jones. It's called Foolio Dead. Now, that last video,
right here. Hold on, let's move forward for a second. What are they blocking out? What are y'all blocking out? What is it? Yeah.
Game Over.
ATK rapper, Kenyatta, Young and Ace, Bullard. Remember when he dropped this shit? We was like, yo, you guys is crazy. Yep, pouring up the Julio, the Don Julio. They make a lot of references to the bottle in this video, if y'all remember correctly. Obviously sipping it right there. It's all clear as day to us, right? So why isn't it? I guess these people don't get it. Look, the bottle, game, even the name of the song, Game Over. It's not relevant. It means nothing. The bottle again, the Julio bottle. Yo, they're playing this shit dead in the middle of the trial, B.
You keep seeing the tequila again. That is a diss against Charles Jones, whose rap name was Julio Foolio. 5 in the morning. You will find in the evidence in this case that this crime occurred around 4:40 a.m. He says 4 in the car, 1 dead, 3 hit. Mr. Jones was murdered, and 3 other individuals you will find in the evidence. You heard the attempted murder counts against 3 of these defendants. 3 others were hit with gunfire but survived.
Now, if I want to try to be on the legal side of things, Youngin,
Hey, I'm gonna give my opinion before you give yours, brother. Shout out to you though. Shout out to you though, most definitely, brother, because you be on it too. But that was stupid as fuck, bro. ATK is not 1200. Hey, it don't matter. 1200 made motherfucking they playing. This the second time, man. They brought up Young and Ace, man. They brought up Young and Ace with Julio. I mean, with in the other trial, and now they bringing them up with 1200. You can't be doing that shit, bro. Like you a mob boss, man. Somebody else gonna come see you. You know, that was stupid though. I know it's just art, but that shit was stupid, man.
Young and Ace's attorney could say he heard the news just like a million other people, and he rapped about it because he doesn't like Julio Foolio. But who we kidding here? Young and Ace is targeted. So him rapping about this shit is why we had the same reaction when he actually dropped the video. He was like, this nigga's crazy. He's insane. So I'm talking about 5 o'clock. It sounds like it's insinuating like you sent it. And that's what he's being investigated for right now. I bet any amount of money under investigation for his involvement in this. A murder for hire, just like Little Dirk allegedly.
As I said, Kenyatta Bullard is a certified celebrity.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
All right, we back to the Julio Foolio trial. That's what he's being investigated for right now. I bet any amount of money under investigation for his involvement in this. A murder for hire, just like Little Dirk allegedly.
As I said, Kenyatta Bullard is a certified celebrity. And you also saw that. That is just a still from that video. And that's talking about both Charles Jones and his gang, 6 Block. Charles Jones, also known as Julio Foolio, also known as Foolio, Mr. Six, or just Six. Like Kenyatta Bullard, the person in the last 2 videos that was the lead rapper, who is the public face of ATK, Mr. Jones, the evidence will show, was the public face of 6 Block. He was the main person in that gang, the main spokesperson, and he was also a celebrity with tens of millions of followers on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. This is a drill rap song that Mr. Jones did a couple of years before his murder. He will talk about several people that are opposing gang casualties. You will see a poster that he is holding and walking around that has 3 photographs on it, 3 young men that were all murdered in a shooting that involved Kenyatta Bullard, Young and Ace, who was the only survivor of that shooting.
And that is why, people, they don't.
Young and Ace. Hey, Young and Ace, I know you're on the stream somewhere, brother. But you better run, brother. You better run. Everybody in jail except your ass, man. You better run. They coming, brother. They coming, man. They got something for you bigger. They said, fuck the state case with you. They send the feds after your ass. You won't be able to make a 4 in the morning, got a call from a bitch. You won't be able to make that shit no more. Hey, it's going to be a nasty-ass all-star team in the feds, man. Young and Ace, Lil Durk, Pooh Shiesty, who else? R. Kelly, EBK J-Bo, PGF Nook, Lil Zay Osama. Boy, that's a lineup, bro. That's the real lineup. Now, YMW Melly ain't feds. He in the States. His case just went. They had the federal government had the answer to is he being mistreated? You got to go over the state. Now, YMW Melly won feds, man. He's state. They just had to make a decision. If his rights was being violated, you got to go over the county and the state's head, bro. That's what the feds is. The feds is over the states. If the states can't figure that shit out, the federal government, why you think Trump, he taking motherfucker all the shit away from Chicago. The buses and anything federal, they get federal money for. Trump ain't giving out shit to these people. Shout out, Shout out M. Evans, man.
Don't have sympathy for some of the lost on either side, to be honest. You know, I don't have anything to do with them. I'm not disrespecting anybody that's involved in this, sort of families or anything like that, of course. But that's why. You know, because they've been doing this shit to each other. The shootings, the killings, the dissing.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. They need to be asking, is that 40 still on the table right now? On some real shit, man. It's over with for them. They just threw away their life, really. For real. It's too many cameras out here, bro. To kill somebody, even if you in a stolen car, you gonna get caught, man. One day somebody gonna come along and wanna be a fucking captain. And they gonna surveil all the murders that they know was on camera. They gonna go back to that shit and follow you straight to your doorstep. They can solve a lot of murders, man. They just solve them in spurts because this is what the money allowed us to do. So it's going off money and not going off. Damn, they just shot 18 motherfuckers, bro. Killed 4 of them. Killed 5 people. You know what I'm saying? They don't get no fuck. We done solved enough murders for this year. We gonna solve them 10 years later. You see them, they putting shit on Melly, Vaughn. CPD study putting shit on Vaughn.
Every time you apply for credit, the answer is no. This card could be your first yes. You can apply in just a few minutes with no credit check, no proof of income, and a limit of up to $3,000. Just answer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Go to the next story, man. We finna go to the next story, man. They cook, man. I can't even watch no more, man. We already know the story. Y'all got some more points. Young and Ace, he better go ahead on, man. He better stack that paper up, because they definitely coming for him, man. So he definitely need to stack his lawyer money up or whatever. Because if he ain't helping nobody, ain't nobody gonna help his ass. And it seems like he the breadwinner out of all the crew, his whole crew. He got the money. And I kind of figured, man, that Julio Foolio was finna get killed. When I seen him at that cemetery, I'm like, yeah, bro, he gonna go one day. One day. It might not be now, it might not be, you know, but somebody gonna catch up to him. Like YBC Duel. I knew he was gonna go. That man got on no jumper and disrespected everybody. I'm talking about every block in Philly that he disrespect. Oh yeah, fuck them too. Fuck 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 7. Hey, as I'm hearing YBC Duel disrespect the blocks, I say, oh man, they finna all come together and they gonna send a kid at him. And that's what they did, bro. They sent the kid at him, bro. He looking for a grown ass nigga, and a 16-year-old killed him. A 16-year-old killed him, man. I knew it was coming for him. He was doing a little bit too much talking. Yeah, I was right there. Only reason why we let him stay right there, because he cool with some of the guys. Hey, look, bro, that's your first thing. You not part of the streets at all. If you saying that he a op right here, he live right here on our shit, but he cool because the guys say he cool. Like hell nah, bro. Motherfuckers steady getting shot and shit. We seeing blind moves, they dropping locations. Like that's just dangerous, man. I'd rather tell a motherfucker like you come see your peoples or something like that, but you can't just stay over here, bro. Like hell no. If you do, you gotta hang outside with us. If you want to chill with us, you gotta party with us, and we gonna throw your ass in the front when your homies ambush. Hey, you still got Scotty, you still got Queso. Shit, they might have a change of heart and solve all the ATK murders. Shit, you don't never know, man. They might find God and be like, man, I gotta get up out of here. My daddy did it. Shit, ain't nobody saying nothing to him. I know a whole bunch of motherfuckers who did it. It ain't over with, man. Don't think it's over with for not Scotty. He can't tell nothing else. His ass gone. What the fuck is his name? Yeah, Scotty, and Queso. Scotty could have got 15 years, man. He could have got 15 years. Queso should have just let him say, "Hey, look, man, you did it, bro. Once somebody got to get out, bro. Like for real. You finna take him down by a cold, like 15 years. Hey, cuz, just take care of me. Just take care of me. Just hit my books. You hear me? I told him to do it. Queso knew he was gone. He did all that bragging and didn't want to take the hit when it came though. All right, man. We finna switch over real quick, y'all. We finna switch over to Chicago news, man. And then we're gonna go to something else. Damn.
This minimizer bra lets me choose my support level. I can literally pull my breasts up to any level I want, from heavy and droopy to nicely shaped and compressed.
That's crazy, bro. Like we trying to watch the news and then we got some motherfucker talking about pulling up her breasts and shit. But if we say you got some nice onions you got on, that's sexual harassment. You hear me? So why do we have to endure this shit, man? Like for real. They strike a motherfucker page if we play the shit. I done seen some weird videos, bro. Like for real, bro. I done seen some shit where I thought it was a porn video, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like for real, bro. They gotta stop that shit, bro. And then try to strike your page after that for that shit. Like y'all played it, bro. Yeah, bro. Come on, man. Don't play that shit on my shit, man. Soon a nigga say she got a wagon back there. Sexual harassment.
Marie, police just pulled down the police tape, and before they left, they told us they believe this was an incident of road rage. Not only was it an active crime scene here, it's also an active construction scene. Willis Tower just a block away. What you're looking at is the old post office. All of that is to say, this is a very busy area for a shooting at a very busy time of the morning.
Person shot Canal Van Buren right at the corner. The offender is no longer on scene. The person's on the ground. A bunch of calls on that.
First responders heard that over the radio around 8:30. They found and taped off a bloody shirt on the northeast corner of Canal and Van Buren. Police say a 42-year-old was standing outside when he was approached by a stranger. They got into an argument that turned physical. The victim was shot in the leg. Chicago Fire Department crews say the person they transported to the hospital is in fair condition. Here's how police described the shooter.
Shooting was caught on pod 6.
All right, I'm finna go to the Louisiana mall shooting. Whoever said that, I'm finna check out all that shit. Just give me a little bit. I gotta go back because this keep on knocking me out.
Breaking news at this hour from Chicago's Little Village neighborhood. Police investigating a shooting at the corner of 26th and St. Louis. We now know that bullets did hit 4 people standing near the sidewalk there. A 46-year-old man who was wounded died at Mount Sinai Hospital. The other 3 victims are women, one now in critical condition. No word yet on what sparked the shooting.
Mayor talking about this safe. He the only motherfucker safe. He got 150 cops with him, bro. That's where the motherfuckers need to go and protest at the mayor house. He got all them damn police officers there. They could be on the street. Fuck you need 150 police detail for? Cause it's dangerous. If it wasn't dangerous, walk around this motherfucker then. With no security. Drive your car up to O Block and say, hey guys, I'm the mayor. You know, you ain't gonna do that shit. Cause this shit dangerous, man. That's crazy, bro. You in position of power to help the people, bro, and you refuse to fucking help, bro. Man, I hope that man go to jail, bro. I pray that he go to jail. And any nigga comment talking about you praying that nigga go, I pray that Brandon Johnson go to jail, motherfucker. And I hope they connect him to a murder for hire with Lil Durk, nigga. On everything. He did take 150,000 for what? We need to know what the 150,000 and where's the 150,000, matter of fact. Like for real. You taking shit from known thugs. Oh yeah. I gotta go to Celeste, man. My fault. I gotta go to D4D, man. D4D been carrying around child for a minute. They said they called him with a arsenal of this shit. Hold on. What that shit at, man? I just said that. Oh, okay. Well. Hey, they could have been locked him up. All they had to do was get a warrant for his phone. He wouldn't have been out long, man. They say D4 David had motherfucking why it ain't popping up?
With Dish and Starlink, you can get the best price in satellite TV, plus affordable high-speed internet. Wherever you live, get lightning-fast speeds for less with no contracts. Call now to find out which internet plan is right for you.
Wasn't on that.
Well, chilling new details. The singer David Berg faces a judge in the murder case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The hearing happening 1 year to the day the young victim was last seen alive. CBS LA's Jasmine Veal in downtown LA with what could be a massive digital trail leading to trial.
Singer David Berg in court Thursday, shackled and in an orange jumpsuit. A camera was not allowed, saying only yes, Your Honor, when asked if he understood the point of the hearing. Prosecutors are accusing Berg of killing Celeste Rivas Hernandez to cover up their sexual relationship, allegedly starting when she was just 12 years old, revealing in court that David's phone contained a significant amount of child pornography.
It's a separate crime itself. I wouldn't be surprised if the feds step in
Former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani says despite the 7 months it took to arrest and charge Burke, prosecutors have a strong case with so much evidence gathered.
So I think what the DA's office was doing is put David's friends, his entourage members, before the grand jury, lock down their testimony under penalty of perjury so they don't change their story and go sideways at trial.
Outside court, people who developed an interest in this high-profile case showed up to stream updates and demand justice for the teen girl.
A lot of the times, because it's a celebrity, they ignore the actual victim, and I always put her name down. And it's justice for Celeste Rivas.
Thursday's hearing coming 1 day after the release of the medical examiner's report. The report saying the 14-year-old died of sharp force trauma. But the autopsy was made difficult because of the severe decomposition of her dismembered body when it was found in bags in the singer's abandoned Tesla last September. The Rivas family stating they would not be attending Thursday's hearing after learning of her horrible and gruesome death.
I was horrified. I cannot imagine her family hearing this.
Prosecutors believe Rivas Hernandez died 5 months earlier in April.
We believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
On Monday, Burke, known by his stage name David, pled not guilty to the capital murder charges. He was arrested last Thursday. Another status hearing is scheduled for next Wednesday, and then we could see a possible preliminary hearing happen May 1st. No statement came from the Rivas family. Here in downtown LA, Jasmine Veal, CBS LA.
We begin with that breaking news. David appearing in court this morning.
We learned several new details in the case of the singer accused of killing a teenager. Eyewitness News reporter Abigail Velez is live outside the downtown LA courthouse with more. Abigail?
Yeah, Philip, this morning, David sat handcuffed to a chair in an all-orange jumpsuit in front of a judge when prosecutors said they found a massive amount of child pornography on David's iPhone. And that is just one element of evidence in this case. This morning in court, prosecutors revealed that David's iPhone contained what they described a significant amount of child sexual abuse material, evidence they say will be reviewed by forensic experts. They also made clear this is a massive case with a lot of evidence. Prosecutors say they have far more than 40 terabytes of evidence, including data from phones, computers, tablets, and iCloud, where they say David alone had about 3 terabytes stored. So far, only about 30% of all of that evidence has been turned over to the defense because of how massive the volume is. We also learned today 3 grand juries were brought together during this investigation in November, December, and February, showing how long this case has been building. Defense attorneys pushed to move things faster, asking for basic discovery and physical evidence only in the preliminary hearing, arguing much of it is already in prosecutors' hands. Prosecutors say they're anxious to start the preliminary hearing, and so is the Rivas Hernandez family. Now, all of this comes as today marks 1 year since Celeste Rivas Hernandez was last known to be alive before police say she went to David's rented home in the Hollywood Hills. A newly released autopsy details a violent death, saying she was stabbed multiple times, including a wound that pierced her liver, which experts say would have likely been the fatal one. The next court date is set for next Wednesday as both sides continue to work through what is now one of the largest evidence loads we've seen in a case like this. For now, reporting live at the LA County Courthouse, Abigail Velez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Abigail, thank you very much. And stay with Eyewitness News for the latest on the case against David. We will be covering it on the air here and on abc7.com and on our free ABC 7 Los Angeles app.
For years, it was just a dream on the West Side, a wellness hub to improve health and quality of life for people in West Garfield Park.
But now that vision is finally here. Our Noel Brennan.
Breaking news, the autopsy report for Celeste Rivas Hernandez in the David murder investigation has just been released. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, so thanks for joining.
Smash that like button. I'm gonna go back to the autopsy. It's a mass shooting in Louisiana.
Courtyard area. We had a massive law enforcement and medical response come. Thanks to all our responding agencies, everybody from the sheriff's office, the St. George, state police, and even FBI came to help to respond to this. We got here very quickly, secured the scene. No more active shooting going on. We started treating victims until EMS got here. EMS got here very quickly and were able to transport victims away from the scene within minutes. What we found out looking through surveillance videos, it looks like it was kind of a targeted, two groups of people got into an argument inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds. Right now, we have 10 victims at local area hospitals, some transported by EMS and some arriving by private vehicle. Definitely, our hearts and prayers go out to all the victims involved in this, various level of injuries, and we're going to keep giving y'all updates as we get them.
How many critical shootings?
Right now, we don't know. We have, at least a couple of them that are in trauma going through surgery. So we don't have an exact number right now. We'll give you those numbers as soon as they become available.
Parking lot's still full of vehicles. Are you still working to get customers, people who are in the mall at the time, out of the mall?
Yeah. So as we get some resources kind of freed up, we're still, going through the mall, making sure we don't have people that lock down and hide and make sure that they're safe and okay. And we're going to start trying to just evacuate the whole area. We had a big crime scene set up in case suspects were on feet in the area, looking in canals. We got helicopter, drones, all those kind of resources. So we had everything locked down, not wanting anybody to leave, but we're going to start opening that up as soon as we can.
Are you guys?
Any idea how many weapons that were used? You said shooting at each other.
Yeah, we don't know right now. We're looking through all the surveillance video and coming through crime scenes processing, looking at shell casings that were on the scene. Anybody that has any help, please plead out to the community right now. If you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous, 344-STOP. If you have any information that you can give us.
Do you believe there's any threat to the public at all?
No, right now, there is no known threat to the public. Right here is the safest place in Baton Rouge, in this area. But as we start developing suspects, we're going to run down every single lead that we can to get these people in custody. But it does not appear to be just a random act of violence, but a very targeted kind of disagreement between two groups of people.
How many people in those two groups?
Right now, I don't want to kind of release that information because it's really preliminary.
Do we know the age ranges of the victims at all?
No, not right now.
What would you say to people out there watching or waking up seeing this or waking up here in the lunch hour and just kind of really worried about what might be going on with Baton Rouge?
Yeah. So first thing is just keep these victims in your prayers, right? Second thing, just know that Baton Rouge Police Department and all these agencies out of here, EMS, fire department, everybody that responded, we are trained for this, right? Unfortunately, it's one of the part of the jobs that we train regularly on. Responding to an active shooter scene like this, hats on to all the law enforcement that came, stabled everybody, EMS that got here and quickly transported the victims to get the care they needed at the local area hospitals, and that we are going to control this. Mayor?
Like I say, number one, first and foremost, prayers for the victims and their families, above all else. I want to thank our public safety officials, all the law enforcement people out here. This is proof of how good they are and the response they had and what they're doing. And to the thugs who did this, we're going to catch you. Okay, we're not going to have this in Baton Rouge. It's not going to happen. And I have complete confidence in our.
The 1 ounce silver buffalo round pays tribute to America's native tribes and the majestic, once endangered buffalo. The silver round is.
Now at 3, we continue following breaking news out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where people are now in custody, 5 of them, following a deadly shooting between 2 groups at a crowded mall. Good afternoon. I'm John Finolio.
And I'm Samantha Cortese. According to Baton Rouge police, the shooting broke out during an argument between groups at a food court.
One person was killed, 5 others injured. KTLA's Corrine Winter is live in the newsroom with details. Corrine.
Well, Baton Rouge police corrected some earlier numbers on the victims in this mass shooting. 6 injured, but one of those patients has died. Police also detained several suspects reportedly tied to the shooting.
I can also report right now that we have 5 suspects in custody. We have 5 suspects in custody. This is still an ongoing investigation, and we're still looking for more people that may be involved. We're not going to answer any questions right now. We're going to be breaking down this crime scene probably within the next 30 minutes or an hour tops, and be able to give more updates as they come available from Baton Rouge Police Department headquarters.
Now, this shooting occurred this afternoon inside a food court at the Mall of Louisiana. The building immediately went into lockdown with first responders transporting those victims to a nearby hospital. We don't know their ages or their conditions at this hour, but again, one person has died. Witnesses described a really frantic scene inside that food court with customers running to safety during the shooting. According to police, 2 groups of people were inside that dining area when they got into an argument, and that's when the shooting occurred. The police chief said that this incident does not appear to be a random act of violence, instead a targeted shooting, and that there is no immediate threat to the community at large there at this time. Here's more from the mayor on the public assistance that led them to those possibly involved in this case.
Hey, I just want to say something, man. You right. Whoever said that, West Philly, JR West Philly. He said, what happened to let's just fight? And that's exactly what we would have did when I was teenagers. We would have fought. You know what I'm talking about? We never met up at the mall to fight. I don't know where that shit came from, but the mall was to go and find the girls, to buy clothes and shit and bump into women, bro. Like, y'all don't buy shit, none of that. Y'all just meet to have a gunfight. Stealing out of stores. And that's what a mall went wrong. Even letting y'all ass in there. They supposed to have motherfucking security at the door with metal detectors. How many mall shootings have we had? Ain't nobody learning from this shit. Like, it's like we just doing the same shit over and over. All right, you seen him get killed over there yesterday. You finna go and post up right there again? Because everybody I know who post up when somebody died, hey, they came right back. That's the kill spot. Even gas stations, liquor stores, whatever. It's, hey, if you heard one person got killed there, hey, 9 out of 10 times, 10, 11 motherfuckers got killed in that same spot, man. They keep on posting up.
I'll repeat myself again. If you're going to act like this in Baton Rouge and you're going to do these things, you're going to be caught. And I want to thank the people. People are starting to talk now. I want to thank the people who contacted Crime Stoppers and the people who had the video and the people that have the evidence.
I'm just praying for him. I just thank God in advance for protection and healing over those that are wounded, and just
a lot of people affected and a lot of families, and I hate to see someone throw their life away at such a young age over a moment split decision over something really stupid.
Yeah, a long night ahead for investigators who are still on scene there, gathering evidence, speaking to witnesses. They've
drove to the mall in their cars or their mama cars. Went in the mall with no mask on or none of that. They got straight face, facial recognition. This is 2026, man. Your ass caught. If they could get you for stealing some soap and toothpaste and electronics and shit, they could definitely catch your ass for a murder, a shooting. Louisiana don't be playing either, bro. I be watching some shit, one of the crime shows, and then Louisiana, it's like they going to see the parole board. Man, they parole board is all people who 80 years old, bro. And they saying, no, even a black dude who up there, I don't think you are rehabilitated. I'm like, damn, bro. They got some motherfuckers who in their 80s judging motherfuckers' lives and shit. Like, nah, bro. I ain't going to Louisiana. Not that I'm going to commit no crime, but I'm definitely ain't going down there. Fuck that. Texas, none of that shit. I'm cool. I'm cool, goddammit. We taking a
We
trip.
begin with breaking news tonight. Prosecutors declining to charge the man.
Hey, y'all, I don't know if y'all seen this, but shout out to Detroit. You know, I try not to report about y'all in Detroit too. Like y'all little conflicts and shit. I only report about the news, you know what I'm talking about, and especially if it's somebody innocent, like Nazaria or the other girls who came up missing, or some shit, some lame shit that a nigga did, you know. But this case right here, I just want everybody to know if somebody bump your car and all that shit, don't get out your car, keep it moving. They trying to rob you. You hear me? If somebody, you know, it's a motive for everything, bro. Ain't no just they behind you and then they hit your shit. They waiting on you to hop out your car so they can say it's a stick up. Put your shit in and park to look at the motherfucking damage. And it's a stick up. Now they done took your car, probably killed you for it. You done gave them the keys and everything, keys in the car. You know, so it's all type of situations. But if you go over to somebody's car, bro, they could kill you, man. You can't run up on nobody's car, bro. It's like, I don't know what you would have did to me. You could have beat me. You could have did whatever. Y'all trying to pull me out the car, like that's a no-no, man. I just want y'all to know that's listening to me. Like it's a no-no, man. So that's why charges haven't been filed.
Who shot and killed 3 people at a Detroit gas station, citing self-defense. Thank you for joining us. I'm Simon Shaquette.
And I'm Heather Catalo. It's a story we've been following since the weekend, and tonight it's raising new questions about conflict, guns, and choices that can turn deadly in an instant.
All this unfolded around 3 a.m. Sunday at a gas station near McNichols and the Redford Township border. 7 News Detroit's Randy Wimbley is your Detroit reporter following this developing story, hearing from the outraged and grieving family of one of those victims, a community activist, an attorney, and he's breaking down why prosecutors say their hands are tied.
Yeah, devastating news for those families. The man who fired those shots was released from police custody early Wednesday. Authorities saying there simply is not enough evidence to prove that he was not acting in self-defense. The man who shot and killed Lester Owens and Trevor and Jasmine Sheeler at a gas station on the city's west side.
Hey, look, if you my woman, man, if you my woman, please don't geek me up. Don't be in the front seat like, yeah, get him, and shit like that, hopping out with me and shit. You know, you gonna get us both killed. Be a woman and be like, fuck that. Like I said to y'all, if somebody bumped your car, anything, keep it moving, man. Hey, just tell insurance somebody swiped you and you gonna get paid. It's different ways you can go about you know what I'm talking about, the financial, the 2 times of the insurance companies. You ain't like for real. You don't worry about them. 9 out of 10 times they ain't got no insurance. You finna pull over and get killed. You know, and that's what happened to these people, man. Condolences to their families, but you just can't do that, man. You just gotta be safe. Like it ain't nobody's fault but theirs. For real. If they would have thought about it, like I'm from Detroit, I know that if you come at me with deadly force, I can kill you. Like probably all the criminals know that, all the gang members and thugs and everything. So they waiting on the kill. They probably said when they probably smoking in a mirror in the morning. I'm waiting on the nigga to play with me, waving a gun in the mirror and talk to themselves. I'm waiting on the nigga to run up on me with deadly force so I can kill him. You know, it's people who wake up like that shit. Like it's people who wake up and say, I'm gonna destroy somebody's life. That's their goal. And that's their goal in life. Is to try to destroy somebody else. You hear me?
Sunday will not face charges. That news coming from Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy's office, which stated Wednesday, after a careful review of the facts and evidence, the Wayne County Prosecutor's office has determined that the warrant will be denied for insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the suspect did not act in lawful self-defense and in defense of others. That news comes as a gut punch for the families of the deceased, including Lester Owens' father.
They premeditated everything before they got in their vehicle, what they were going to do. They were going to hit a car, get somebody to come out, and tell them to meet me, and then shoot, because they already felt cocky because they ride around with 3 guns.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. Hey, look, bro, I know people who got their lights to carry, bro, in the city of Chicago, who be saying, I'm waiting on the nigga to come through here. They'll stand on the block with the gang members, bro, and be praying that somebody come. Like, they used to be, man, I want somebody to come through from old block. I'm licensed to carry. Like, bro, your goof ass gonna go to jail, bro. You hanging around criminals and everything, bro, waiting to get a body, bro. Like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. But I heard it on Duck them side. A nigga was licensed to carry, and he was saying that he can't wait till he catch a free one. You hear me? And I'm telling them, like, bro, they gonna end up taking your pipe first of all. So stop even acting like you with them, cause they look at you like a goofy. They figuring out how they could take your pipe without upping on you, cause they really don't want to up on you. So I had to sit down and talk to him. He was cool as hell too. Don't get me wrong. Like, no disrespect. This little guy, his name was Matthew. He was cool as hell. He always worked the job and everything, man. You know what I'm talking about? He used to be with Taekwondo, bro. But I told him, don't trust them niggas, man. Don't trust them niggas, bro. Like they'll borrow his weed and then catch a, hey, man, I seen you served the officer today. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, hey, look, stop fucking with them, bro. But he ended up getting killed. Matthew ended up dying in a Mexican neighborhood. Somebody came through and killed him. He ain't dying of Tucaville. He died in like Pilsen or something. But I seen this shit before, bro. With niggas who likes to carry, they walking around cocky. They walking around cocky than a motherfucker, man. And waiting to shoot somebody.
You let murderers out to do it again. That murderers are not the victims. I'm the victim. Lester, my son, is the victim, and those two people that were killed are the victims.
The prosecutor's office says the 3 people killed were seen getting out of their car, opening the driver's door of another vehicle, and getting into a physical altercation with the driver. That's when the man in the rear of that car fired those fatal shots. Attorney Terry Johnson says Michigan law allows someone to use lethal force when they are in imminent fear of death or great bodily harm for themselves or someone else.
My concerns are someone getting out of a vehicle, going into another vehicle. Again, that's never a good thing, especially when there's been some sort of friction between the two parties beforehand.
That friction stemming from a crash on the road, a pursuit, and someone pointing a gun at the other car and culminating in this confrontation at the gas station. Community Violence Intervention Group, the People's Action, says there were off-ramps on this road to tragedy, and it should serve as a lesson to everyone.
De-escalation skills. It was so many times where they could have stopped and said, you know what, it's not worth it, or we can go a different route.
Us as a community, we need to intervene more. I don't think that we should just always depend on law enforcement or extreme circumstance, extreme people to come intervene. We could do it, right? Let's hold ourselves accountable as a community.
The family of the brother and sister killed in that shooting declined an interview, as did the young man who pulled the trigger. I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
Have you been researching dental implants? Here's the part no one likes to hear. You could be wearing those temporaries for up to 10 months before you ever get your final permanent smile. Think of it like remodeling.
3 lives lost after a fight at a gas station escalates into gunfire.
And tonight, we're hearing from 2 families impacted in different ways by the needless violence. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. There are 2 families reeling from what took place early Sunday morning on the west side.
Hey, man, I just want to say this, man. If you love your life, protect it. Act like you love it, man. Don't be around this bitch acting like no gorilla, man. I seen all the gorillas. All the gorillas is in the cemetery. All the lions is in the cemetery. You know what animals that ain't, though? The deers, they still running around this motherfucker because every time they see trouble or sense trouble, they run. They run the other way. You hear me? And that's what some of us need to start being. Be a deer on everything. Fuck being a lion or none of that. Deer see trouble and they gone, bro. That's one thing I know about a deer. They gonna run. Whether they jump through a window trying to get away. Them motherfuckers wouldn't have injured themselves just to get the fuck away from you. For real, bro.
A 10-year-old boy is now behind bars and charged with murder for the stabbing death of a 13-year-old girl. This is a disturbing story we first brought you in early February.
Investigators say they arrested the 10-year-old yesterday in North Carolina.
Officers have now identified the young victim as 13-year-old Riley DeArmas. ABC 13's Brianna Willis joining us now live after speaking with her mother this afternoon. Brianna?
Hey there, yeah, and her mother tells me that she and Riley were actually just best friends. So as you guys can imagine, the last 2 months have been very difficult for her. But right now, she also is carrying a piece of Riley with her wherever she goes. And she also tells me this arrest is very bittersweet for her.
I'm very satisfied with the arrest made today. It puts my mind at ease.
But Ashley DeArmas says nothing will bring her only daughter, Riley DeArmas, back. Houston police say in early February, a fight broke out between two groups of young people at a Northwest Houston apartment complex. Investigators say at some point, a 10-year-old boy stabbed 13-year-old Riley to death. Now, 2 months later, the boy finally charged with murder and arrested in North Carolina, according to investigators.
Yeah, this shit crazy, man. Hey, you gotta watch out for everybody. I remember you like the 10-year-olds, you can get them a pass for sure. All them kids, you can't even say. I see why all the kids died because either they killing each other or the grown-ups, they gotta take them out before they come 5 deep and switch you down. I'm starting to understand now. Hey, I still ain't trying to relate to these little motherfuckers because I ain't did none of this shit when I was their age. So all these motherfuckers, hey, I love the shorties because I can relate. You one like that. I seen killers who killers now get on DJ you all the couches and lie like a motherfucker. I can relate to shorty. Bro, when you was 13, they was kicking you in your ass. How I know? Because I'm older than you, nigga. Like they was bullying on you at first, nigga. Now you a killer. I meant you a killer now. But when you was 13, 14, 15, 16, they was whooping your ass, nigga. They was stumping you on your head and that motherfucking thing. Like, they just be lying, bro. Ain't no niggas was out here that I know in my era or under my era was 13, 12 and doing shit, bro. They lying. They trying to get their clicks and views up, bro. Of lying about some shit that's dumb. Like, it's dumb, bro. You can ask any nigga who grew up with me. When the first time you shot a gun? All the niggas gonna tell you when they was grown. When they was grown. When they was 18 or older. They was grown. You hear me? Ain't none of the niggas I know gonna tell you that they was shooting shit at 15. It wasn't real. Yummy, he got sent off. Yummy got sent off, man. And then the nigga who sent them off end up getting them killed. The nigga who sent the Hardaway brothers off end up telling on them. So he killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh, you know who killed that little girl? Oh, Yummy did it. So when the police left, hey man, we gotta get rid of Yummy, man. The police looking for him. And then he get them locked up. You know who killed Yummy? Oh yeah, the Hardaway brothers. On everything, bro. Like, come on, man. He tricked the motherfucker off the street. That's what authority do, though. That's what a board member, that's what a minister, that's what they could do. A coordinator, whatever you is, a region, that's what the fuck they could do. They could change the position on you where everybody, you look bad. And they don't. On everything. They blame the shit on you. Motherfuckers said they seen you coming out the crib and take all the shit. Ain't nobody said that but you. You the one who took it. But now you trying to say I did it and get everybody on me. That's what the game do, bro. They pick and choose who the fuck they gonna fuck up. Because everybody ain't getting no violation that I seen when I was a kid. Everybody was, motherfuckers, you got some people who can shoot a guy and not get beat up. And then you got the little JoJo who shoot a guy and they kill him. You know?
Next up, we want to talk about the big news here of the day as President Donald Trump's acting attorney general today signed an order reclassifying state-licensed medical marijuana as a less dangerous drug, a major policy shift long sought by advocates who said cannabis should never have been treated like heroin by the federal government. So let's continue to break this down right here on Live Now from Fox. I want to bring in our next guest to help do that. Please welcome everyone, Michael Johnson, the CEO of Metric, cannabis compliance on reclassification. Thanks so much for being here, and just tell us a little bit